Douchebags? Yeah, he's really, really a good addition to our team here. Whatever. Shouting out to Greg. Pour one out for the homies.
Pour it out for the homies.
Oh, God. Y'all don't have shot glasses full of whiskey?
I had a coffee.
Still drinking coffee.
I had a coffee cup full of whiskey.
Yep. Drink coffee.
It's gone, actually. I need to fill it up.
Coffee
Yesterday was my day. I had to go to town yesterday, so I'm not into
All right,
it
well, I'll
today.
let y'all take the lead then, because we've been drinking for an hour now, right, Jason? Morris?
Oh, at least that long. So, so guys, I'm Jason Morris, and thank you guys for watching us here in Real Estate Agents. It's really worked. There's a lot of great information they've shared. These guys have shared the last couple of weeks. We got Errol Best. She is a new addition here this week. We got Donica
Stolnick. Oh my God, you were so close.
I was so close.
Larry can say it.
She sent me 4 recordings today with her last
I did.
minutes.
He's who inspired my little rant today, because I was like, good Lord, I'm doing all these videos with him and he keeps calling me Danica.
Keep calling her Danica. Keep calling.
Larry can actually say the whole thing. Larry can say the whole thing.
Yeah, it's Donica Kostalnik. Donica.
Donica
And then
Kostalnik.
a lot of you guys already know Larry Lee. Larry Lee has FU Bots, and he's a mortgage officer, and he's an internet.
The robot general, the robot army.
And he danced with Ellen DeGeneres on her show one time.
He did that, yeah.
And so guys, what happened in the mortgage world this week?
I got a little bitch. So I have this really important VIP client, and he wanted a jumbo loan, and I went to go price it, and I couldn't figure out why it didn't show pricing. And then of course I read the corporate communication, and apparently we don't have jumbos right now, and that's something that I didn't know until like recently. So hopefully it comes back, but that's me, and I'm just, I mean, we're a pretty big organization. And
still have a jumbo.
Okay, well, I asked my wife Christy, who's a broker, right? So they should have a lot of options, and she hasn't found anyone either. But yeah, I'll talk to you later, Donica. Close it up.
Yeah. Send it out.
Close it up. No, I'm working on it.
Ours sucks though. So our jumbo, the one that we have, is only because we have a little bank channel behind us. And it's get this, it's a 5.75% rate with about a point discount and putting 25% down. And it's a 3-4 adjustable rate 30-year note.
Jeez. So because my client is a person I just want to help and take care of, I'll at least tell him what you got going on. If he wants to reach out to you, I'll make sure that happens. And
I'm pretty sure there's a few other options, but I'll holler at you after the call and let you know.
Perfect. So that's what we have for jumbos now, what Donica just said.
I think
3-4.
Pretty much in the same jumbo situation, except like a few banks. I know we
did
away
with banks,
like,
are really the only ones left. Yeah.
Jumbos and non-QMs were the first thing that we lost, and then we were at 640 for our minimum, but we are getting much more loose guidelines coming down. So if it's certain things, if it's below 640 and it's refer eligible with debt to incomes above 43%, it needs to close, like before they put the official kibosh on. But as long as it's not hitting those 3 things specifically under 640 high debt to income, it's fine. VA came out with a circular, which I know hopefully everybody knows. VA is allowing for drive-bys if the home is occupied, but they are not going to allow anymore for reconsideration of values on cashed out refinances. Still reconsiderations on rate and term or EARLs, and then on purchases, but no more on cash outs for now. Which hasn't really impacted me terribly because most of my VAs come in fine.
How about your corner, Jason?
I got a couple outlets for under 640, but the pricing is not very good. So it is what it is. But I mean, the big news, like I've seen around here, is a lot of lenders locally are getting out of DPAs, and I think lenders, like the number one lender in Maryland, is gotten out of DPAs, or at least suspended the program. So I'm sure they'll come back, but a lot of those are going away because my my gut instinct is like, they're afraid that they don't want to get stuck with them. So that's what's going on in my neck of the woods. Other than that, updates go. Larry, which one is that?
So this one is Hunter. He's my 3-year-old. Mason is right over there, and then Bruce is downstairs. Bruce doesn't give a crap about anything, so he's never up in my business. Whereas these guys, they just appear when Zoom calls happen. Hey, come on, dude.
Oh man, my little girl came during the last one. Right at the end, my little girl came and she goes, "Hey, Daddy, where's my hippo?" I'm like, I don't even know what she's talking about. And anyway, she's completely naked. She just got a bathtub, so you guys didn't get to see her on the Zoom call. She just basically Laura got her out of the bathtub. She just ran away. Yeah, that's what.
Right.
Yeah, she just ran away.
See, that's why I've never been more excited to be divorced in my entire life, is because my ex has my kiddo tonight, so I don't have to worry about her coming in here going, Mom, 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 Mom.
Mom, what you doing? What you doing? Can you find my hippo? Guys, so what do you guys think about the whole, was it a Chase? And I want to say Citigroup, I think I've seen the article going to 700 minimum credit scores.
If somebody else mentions that, I'm going to punch somebody in the face.
Really? You think that's going to be like the new normal though, right? Because
no, it's not going to be the new normal. It's Chase, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, Chase sucks, but I remember back in the day, I had a credit card with Chase, and last time the market fell off, dude, I had like a $75,000 limit, and I had like $2,000 charged on it. And we went from a $75,000 limit to literally they lowered my limit to the amount I had on the card, right?
Ouch.
And yeah, so anyway, that ended up being just a total write-off for them. But we ended up negotiating that debt later on. But do you think we're going to see like credit scores going up or minimum credit scores going up for now?
No.
Like past the 640?
No, some lenders went up to 680 and they're already back down. I think my personal opinion is the market's trying to find a sweet spot for risk, because everybody is all on the forbearance train. They were trying to find a sweet spot for what is going to be an acceptable risk. Obviously below 640 is not acceptable. So they went up to 680 and now they're coming back down. So they're finding the threshold for what's acceptable, and a lot of relief is coming down from Ginnie Mae to the middleman and servicers to help out with the forbearance requests. That's my opinion.
And I would say her opinion's on point. This is the thing, guys. We've been kind of talking about this a lot in other mortgage calls. When they say, what should we expect? Should we expect the unexpected? Well, no. This is all kind of expected. We're kind of expecting a lot of change, a lot of shifting around of guidelines and testing the waters. Like when it comes to marketing, what we do is we do split testing, right? We do test marketing. We throw stuff out there and see what happens, and then react to it. I think it's the same concept with financials and economics and risk, right? It's like, like she says, we're looking for the sweet spot. Apparently, we haven't found it yet, right? But so what I tell people they should expect is for things to change, not really unexpected, but just needs to change. So what I say today might not be true tomorrow. I might be a liar 24 hours from now, right? And this has happened on my files where I told a client they're pre-qualified, and then I go, oh, all of a sudden we have to have 3 months in reserves, which actually puts you out of qualification, right? So just expect things to change, and hopefully the sweet spot gets found quicker than later, so that we can operate on, I guess, more long-term intelligence, right? So yeah.
It's a moving target.
Yep.
It is
What
day
do you
to
really
day. That's the thing. It's day to day. There's no norm anymore. It's one day to the next. Who knows? But I'm glad you brought the Deferment, man, because that's an issue that I'd like to discuss, and I get some pushback on even talking about it. But I mean, so many people are doing it, and that is the cause of the whole issue with liquidity and the credit pinches that we're seeing. And and it sucks. And the message that I'm trying to push out is don't do it if you don't have to, and know the ramifications of doing it. Because I mean, quite frankly, I know at least 3 lenders that have publicly stated that they're not going to give mortgages to you for 12 months after the forbearance is over. Right? So if anybody wants to purchase again or refinance again, they're going to have to wait that time period at least. So, I mean, and again, we don't know what the future holds, but I'm sure a lot of other lenders are going to stay on that same path, and it's gonna put a lot of people in a pinch. I mean, unfortunately, like if somebody needs to refinance and they can't, then what are they gonna do? They're probably gonna have to foreclose, right? And then we're gonna have this whole snowball effect, and it's gonna put everybody in a bad situation. So my message is, don't do it if you don't have to. If you have to, don't have to, then don't. Find another way. If you can, make half a payment. I don't know. Work it out with the servicer. That's the message I'm trying to get out there to everyone who is talking about it.
The big thing is there are people that are going into forbearance where they absolutely do not have to. Right? That's the biggest issue, okay? Because, I mean, we're seeing this in our inner circles of loan officer groups and networks, and we're seeing things. And there are people that are in forbearance, and it's already shown as late, right? And I mean, we're talking about like within 30 days, there's a late. Dude, that's going to hurt you when you want to refinance or purchase another home, right?
Yeah.
And
or credit score in general.
Yeah, and a lot of people are doing this to try to take advantage of the system when it's actually going to hurt you. I mean, no matter what's going to come back to you anyways, right? You're going to have to pay it back anyways. So there's no taking advantage of any system. But, people are just trying to get a break from making payments because everyone else is when they don't have to. And it's going to hurt your credit, period.
For sure.
Okay.
Well, I don't think a lot of people realize. Go ahead.
I was caught off guard by that today too. I saw a credit trade line that showed in forbearance 30 days late as of April. I'm like, but it's April 15th. Like it can't literally be 30 days late for April, but I guess it was not paid in March and then they went in forbearance and then it was reported 30 days late. But didn't you all think that we weren't going to be reporting anything late within 120 days?
That was my
Go ahead.
That's it.
I saw a circular posted on April 8th from Fannie Mae that originally it was stated when they put the CARES Act out, it said servicers are not to report anything as late. It was updated last week, and I have a friend that works for a servicer, and I emailed it to her and I went, what the hell is this? And she goes, well, that says we have the option to report them as 30 days late or however late they are. So I don't think that was widely announced because the CARES Act said they weren't supposed to, and then they came back and revised the fucking CARES Act. So now they can report them as many days late as they want. And on top of that,
But did y'all see that shit floating around? They're actually doing it. Like it's actually happening.
Because servicers don't have to report it as they're not forced to suppress it. So now they don't have the requirement where they have to suppress the credit report. So people are going to wind up getting kicked in the mouth on it a lot faster than they realized.
Yeah.
And what's the motivation for reporting it on time when they're not getting paid? Why would they? If they're not getting money, why are they going to help anybody out? You know what I mean? They want their money so they can do their jobs. So what do they have to not report it late? I mean, if the legislation is optional, then they're going to take the option that's best for them. That's the way I see it, anyway.
Well, reporting really it doesn't matter, honestly. Like it's going to be payments that are owed, even if it's not express versus if it is express. And I've got a girlfriend that works for Round Point, and so I've been picking her brain, and she got moved from claims to doing forbearance requests, and they're taking on 1,100 forbearance requests a day in her department alone. And what she was saying was that people don't realize, and she's telling people 3 times in a row, don't do this. And this is why. And it's taking that long for them to understand you're not getting a deal out of this. You're going to have 4 payments due. And it's not a bait and switch. I know as lenders, we've been posting it in all of our groups going, guys, don't do this. But seriously, everybody needs to realize if you forbear a mortgage, you don't get to just rate term refi or cash out refi because we have to verify your mortgage payments. And if you don't have 3 payments, guess what? You're going to have to catch those 3 payments up before we can actually finish this refinance. And people don't realize that, and it's the same for auto loans. I had my first request from my underwriter today to verify that an auto loan was not in forbearance.
That's pretty interesting, what you're saying about forbearance is, and I think it's wild because I know people that are my friends that live around me, and some of them have asked me like they want to take advantage of the whole situation, but and get some basically free non-mortgage payment times. And but I agree with you guys. I think it's kind of crazy. I think we're going to see a lot of people get that into 3 months or into 12 months, whatever the bank's offering. You're going to have a big bill due at the end. They're not going to be able to pay, and they're going to kind of be screwed. What do you guys think?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
How do you think these forbearances are going to affect credit scores? Because they're doing it on cars, they're doing it on credit cards, they're doing it on the damn light bill, they're doing it on everything. How do you think it's going to affect credit scores?
I think it all depends how the late payments are going to report. I don't think the forbearance in itself is going to be a problem unless the late payments themselves are reporting. And then, of course, that's going to tank your score. Like, late payments are the worst thing that could possibly happen to your credit score. So I don't, like, those words forbearance haven't meant anything in the future, because you can always put your student loans in forbearance, or your, you know, it's kind of like a deferment for all the stuff that we do for all intents and purposes. But when it comes to the credit score, I mean, I didn't think we were supposed to report late, but I think that's just mortgage companies. So I suppose auto people and credit cards will be reporting late. I don't know, man. It's going to be a shit show.
So let me ask you guys. So a lot of these loans are requiring a certain number of like time on the job, right? Employment verification and all that stuff. So what's going to happen with these people that are furloughed and the people that are out of work for maybe even if it's a short amount of time, like say, let's just say best case scenario, people are out of work 30 days. I think that's best case scenario, like in my market, right? So what's going to happen with job verifications, that requirement of 2 years on the job or 2 years in the same line of work? What's going to happen there where they're unemployed for literally a month while the coronavirus apocalypse took over the damn world, you know?
So I want to take a swing at this.
Yeah, what do you think is going to happen with that? You think they're just going to say, hey, that don't count?
Yeah, I'm going to guess because I've done, files like this where there's been a gap. I think with an appropriate, letter of explanation, we like to call it LOX. Some people say LOE. It's kind of debated.
No, it's LOX. You're wrong if you say LOE.
I think it's LOX.
It's LOE.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong.
You're wrong. That's another debate altogether. But
so again, we're still debating that.
Okay, Jason Morris, what do you think? If you were going to abbreviate with zero other input, letter of explanation, how would you say it?
Coronavirus took my job.
No, I need an answer. No, everyone, all you kids, hush. Jason, what would you abbreviate letter of explanation?
Letter of explanation. You know what? I used to do a lot of these with short sales and stuff, and sometimes I'd have to take them from my clients. Like I had this one dude that had a peg leg. He lost a leg, right? During the time of mortgage, right? So he'd during the time of the short sale, like one of the things that happened to this unfortunate guy is he literally had some kind of unfortunate accident. I don't remember right now exactly what it was, but he lost a leg, right? And then on top of losing a leg, he gets a peg leg, and then his stump from his leg gets infected. I mean, this dude had like the worst damn story ever.
When it rains, it pours. Is this the dude that you just hit his dog?
No. I don't want to talk about that. I just got through that yesterday. Just got through that whole situation yesterday. I had to go over there and talk to his girlfriend because, anyway, it's just a goddamn mess, really. But but we're working through that, Danica. But this is a different guy.
Swinging back around, what would you call a letter of explanation?
Well, letter of explanation, I think it would be an explanation of why you were out of work.
No, she's asking what would you abbreviate?
How would you abbreviate it? Would you say
abbreviate
LOE or LOX?
I would say LOE.
Yes, Jason, we win.
Yes.
Yes. We win.
Yes.
I would say LOE. I thought you were saying, what would I say?
We have an official on record. Ariel and Larry, you lose. We've been talking about this, Jason Morris, for years.
Where the hell is Greg Tanner? Bring him back. Greg says LOX is what Greg says.
One of the problems with this is going to be, and that's what I was getting to, like when the dude lost his leg. So he writes the letter of explanation for the short sale, right? And he mentions all this stuff about losing his job. And he writes a 3-page letter and doesn't mention losing the damn leg, right?
Oh my God.
And I read it and I'm going like, wait a second, we're trying to short sell your house for like 50% of what you owe. You got to mention the fucking leg, right? He's like, well, I don't want to. I'm like, look, I'm going to rewrite this for you. I'm going to give it back to you. You sign it. Okay, that's what we got. It's been like 10 years ago. But I think that's going to be one of the problems that we're going to see with the letter of explanation is that some people want to sugarcoat their situation. And then we're going to see some people that want to take your situation in another direction. Like I had one when we were doing short sales and loan modifications and all that stuff. I had one that I'll tell you guys about. It was a police officer. Certain hiring things have been done. This guy was getting a ton of overtime, so he's literally making more money right? But one of the exceptions for a short sale was they would allow medical expenses being a hardship. And you could do a short sale based on you having a medical hardship, right? And so his wife did, in fact, lose her job. But household-wise, the student was getting so much unemployment as a police officer that he was actually bringing home more money. Their medical explanation was she got a boob job, right? And they had a bill that they were having to make payments on because she lost her job. And they claimed that as their hardship, and we sold their house and they never missed a payment, right? So we're going to see some funky letters of explanation. And I think that we're going to see one side of people take it to extreme, one side of people not take it far enough. And there's going to be some people in some really unfortunate situations.
I don't disagree with you. I think a lot of what's going to happen is, so let's say we have what, 22 million forbearances right now that are currently, being accounted for. Let's say you just split the group half and half. You have 11 million at least that are, if we match up to the unemployment numbers, 11 million that are negatively impacted financially due to the COVID virus. These people are going to be eligible for a disaster modification specifically coded under the COVID virus. So for lenders, at least, when we're looking at a loan modification, that's essentially to us the same as a short sale, where there's a certain amount of seasoning that's required. So if they're eligible to do a loan mod and they do the process right, let's say they are financially impacted, they lose their job for a minimum of 30 days, but what is it, like something like 56% of the nation doesn't have 6 months in savings. So they're going to get behind and shit's going to happen. So those 11 million people are going to be able to do disaster modifications where they can present the paperwork showing that they're furloughed or lost their job to their servicer and say, okay, here's the paperwork, here's the proof. They get a loan modification and the extra payments get tacked onto the end. I don't know if we have guidance yet on how we're supposed to look at disaster mods. Does anybody else know?
Yeah.
So right now we have no idea how it's going to negatively impact, but as it stands now for modification, it's a minimum of like a 2-year seasoning, I think, across government loans and 4-year for conventional. So now, to no fault of their own, they're immediately going to be on a up to 4-year waiting period to be able to purchase or refinance. Nope, doesn't matter letter of explanation or not, they're going to be screwed. For the people that don't actually have a way to financially prove that they were impacted and did this forbearance just because they could for shits and giggles, those people are going to wind up getting short sales. I've told several realtors in my area, it would be a wise idea if you decide right now that you sign up to be on the Fannie and Freddie foreclosure specialist seller's agent list, because come July, this date is unofficial, but come July 6th, there is going to be a lot of people that will be put into escalated foreclosure status.
Yep, I agree with you. We had a question, how many kids does Larry have? I'll go ahead and take that one. He has 17. 17.
It was Wayne. Wayne asked how many kids you had, Larry, and it's
Yeah,
3.
I'm really
It's
sorry
3.
about that. Like usually I have people who can watch them, but like it's pretty much bedtime for everybody, so I'm kind of stuck with them. So yeah, it's kind of
It's cool.
unfortunate.
It's
So
cool.
sorry about that.
It happens, man. It happens.
Hey, we had the Wayne Salmons tuning in.
That's right.
I don't know if he's still here or not.
But I agree with you, Ariel. I think there's going to be some escalated situations, and I think we're going to see a lot of unusual stuff. I think we're going to see a lot of debt negotiation. I think we're going to see a lot of modifications. I think we're going to see credit card modifications and negotiations. I think it's going to be crazy stuff. I mean,
I have another prediction. You know how like non-QMs are gone, right? There's probably going to be like a non-QM market for forbearance and loan modification borrowers. Like that's gonna be like a market, right? Like, hey, we're your COVID-19, post-traumatic lenders or whatever, and like if everything is perfect, the scores or whatever, the income, but you just have that one period, like they might be like, okay, well we can go around that. They're probably gonna charge a higher rate.
Yeah, like a 12% and 7 points, totally fine.
Yeah, but they'll be available.
well, I think so too. I think we'll see stuff like that.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, there'll be somebody that capitalizes on the COVID-19 mortgage industry, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, because everyone else is rejecting them. These people they're demanding this, and they can't get it because traditionally they're getting rejected. So someone's gonna have to fill that need. So that for sure is gonna happen. At least that's one of my predictions. But yeah, basically a letter of explanation might help, but like she was saying, it's people. There's so many hoops that you have to jump just to make it happen. You're pretty much putting yourself in danger no matter what if you don't do things like you're supposed to do. So I mean, a lot. Okay, so let me put it this way: people are asking, "What happens if I go to forbearance?" Why are you asking that question? Okay, because you're considering it. You're either going into it or you're not, right? Because you can't pay, right? Or you can pay, but you're trying to figure out if you can beat the system. So why are you asking that question? There's no question. You're either going to forbearance or not. You know what I'm saying? So really, we should even be talking about this. Okay, the people that are going forbearance, the people that are not able to pay, it is what it is. Right? You're going to have to just deal with it because this is what happened. But the people that are like, well, what happens if I go into forbearance? Well, why are you asking that question? Are you trying to figure out a way to see if be going into forbearance is worth the risk, worth the gamble? So I think that's really the problem with everybody who's thinking about this. You know, they're trying to figure out a way to beat the system. So yeah, I mean, it really, reality, this is not really a conversation because, again, if you go into forbearance, it is what it is. You just kind of accept things how they are. And if you're not going to forbearance, then why is it even an issue? Why are you even thinking about it? Why is it something you're entertaining? Are you trying to do something that's kind of sketchy, right? So at least that's my perspective.
Yeah, you know what? The people that are going to pay are just going to pay. People that are not and look for a way around the system, they're just not going to pay.
Well, there you have the middle person, the second or the third person. Can they pay right now? Like for the people that are financially impacted, and that's a conversation I've been having with a couple of clients, people that have. And I ran into this specifically. I've had several clients that are still doing purchases right now. And then we get to the very end. I have had 5 clients total that have been furloughed after we have cleared to close because we're doing 48-hour verbal VOEs. And I've had one client call me and he said, I have COVID. And I said, well, I guess we are not closing tomorrow then, are we? So for the people that have been furloughed, something that I actually found, because I had no other choice. My client called me and I said, hey, I need one more pay stub. And she burst into tears, tells me I have been on voluntary leave from Amazon because somebody there has COVID and my son is immunocompromised. I'm not going to fault her because I would do the exact same thing if my kid was immunocompromised and a coworker had the virus. But now I have no pay stubs for the last 30 days. Now, you can do for FHA at least, and I haven't had a chance to check any of the other ones. I know conventional doesn't have it. You can qualify and close based on a temporary reduction in income. So if somebody for me is considering forbearance and I'm sitting here going, what is the worst financial impact going down the list? So number one, obviously, is going to be don't make your mortgage payment. You have late, your credit is wrecked. Number two is forbearance is going to pretty much, fuck you over just as bad. It then technically would be more beneficial if we're going down the list of what is the least beneficial to most. Well, even if you're on reduced income right now, as long as you're back to work by the time we close on a refinance, even if it's a rate term and I can only save you like 1/4 of a point, it's still going to be a net tangible benefit. If I close you on May 1st, we fund on May 5th, you skip May's payment, June's payment, your first payment is in July. So now you have a built-in, essentially kind of like a modification or a forbearance, but it's not going to negatively impact your credit. Yes, you are going to have to pay closing costs again, and you have to pay escrow setup. You get a check back from your escrow, though, so if you're thinking about it and you have the equity, that's your next 2 payments is your escrow check back. So it would almost make sense for people in that circumstance. If you're in a situation where you can't pay and you're worried about funds and you have been on reduced hours or whatever, let's qualify you on temporary income, do a refinance, skip a couple payments, and it's the safest way. The way I'm looking at it, it's the safest way to save some people from having their credit wrecked or their house taken.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I don't think forbearance is bad at all. Well, I don't think it's bad. Let me restate that. I don't think it's bad for the people that can't pay, right? I think the banks are going to work it out for them later on. The people that are looking to do something though soon are probably going to have some long-term problems. Are probably just that they're just going to have long-term problems, So I guess you know what? I got a text here. So what do we do to make money right now? These agents that are buyer heavy, that are mostly working with buyers, they don't have a lot of listings and stuff. What do they do? What do they focus on? What are they needing to look at? What do you guys think? And what should they be spending their time on right now?
Well, I think what I've been figuring out this week for my personal business is to really just focus on the 640 and up people right now. Like they're gonna have to be patient with us because we didn't ask to lose all our programs either, and it's really hard to get that done, 640 and down. So just understand that if you want to get a manufactured home done or get a 640 and down FHA loan done, VA is not quite as, I don't have any like real crazy VA stuff, but it's all 640 and down is just hard because that money's tight. So I would say patience as an agent, patience is going to be a virtue. And when your loan officer says it's probably going to have to take a minute, then maybe it's going to have to take a minute. But like we mentioned last week, always get a second opinion. All of us, you know, have different overlays and different requirements and different ways to make a loan work or not work. So, I mean, those of us on this call, like we're all besties. Greg's one of us. Like we've got groups of thousands of us that communicate all the time on everything. So if we can't get it done, I guarantee you we know someone that can get it done. So I would say just reach out to somebody else, make sure that your loan officer isn't crazy or just having a triggered, stoned bipolar moment or whatever's going on in their mind. Like all of us are having bad days sometimes, but we can all do different things. So that's all I would say for agents is just put on your patience panties. If you want to continue working with buyers, just be realistic. And if you're trying to do something that's an exception, give us a contract that's not 14 days. Like give us 35, 40 days to get it done because it's an exception and it's hard. And what we do is already hard enough. And we could really, really benefit from having agents that are on our team, but are also staying in their lane and letting us do our job. And I kind of just understanding that we're working with what we got and we will do the best we can as a unit of loan officers. I think we truly are better together. I don't care if you're working with a broker or a bank or a lender like us. Like just do your thing, you know, make sure you do best by your client. And if we need 90 days to fix their credit, give it to us, you know, don't push.
Yeah,
Don't
so
cry,
like,
don't beg. There's not a whole lot of
Okay.
shit we can do if your client screwed up their credit over the last 10 years. We can't fix it in 10 minutes. So it's just going to take a second sometimes. Anyway, I'll stop. Soapbox off.
I've been telling all my agents that I don't think 640 below is going to be available in the next 6 months. And so I've given all my agents kind of like a checklist of things to start asking clients is, do you have your down payment set aside? Because don't send them to me if they've told you that they have a 487 FICO, because normally I would have the time to dedicate to be able to give them guidance and try and pick that apart. Every lender I know is stretched pretty thin right now. I'm assuming that's why the Zoom call is at 9 o'clock at night. Everybody. I had another realtor I'm friends with reach out to me and
That's
he was
actually
like, hey.
just so we can drink, Ariel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, we could have done this at noon. I was already drinking then. Like, let's be very real. But so I had a realtor reach out to me earlier, and it was somebody was he was the one, the realtor was the one submitting for a condo approval to the VA. Normally, us lenders would handle your condo approval to the VA. It was another MMBC instructor that actually said, "Hey, you do it." And he was like, "Hey, is it normal that, you know, I'm the one handling it?" I said, "No, but I'm going to ask you to give your loan officer grace, and I don't even work with you because everybody is stretched thin. There's some rescue deals that we're having to rescue our own deals right now." So I'm telling all buyers agents, be a little bit graceful. Don't bite our heads off, because I'm not biting anybody else's heads off back. I know everybody is tired of being around their families. They're tired of being at their houses, and I get it. So I'm giving everybody that grace. I need them to give me the grace back and give me the extra days. I'm not accepting any contracts below 45 days. If we can move it up, awesome. I've moved 4 different purchases up, even though I've had 5 wind up getting furloughed and had to fix them. 4 have moved up from their original close date, because I don't like to ask for extensions. I don't like to do things twice. Give me 45 days. If we can move it up, fantastic. Nobody gets mad about that. Everybody gets pissed when they have to do more paperwork. So give us the 45 days. For the buyers that don't meet the checklist, make sure down payment assistances, my ops guy, I asked him about a down payment assistance. He's like, yeah, we have it now, but it may change. So you may want to check back and you may be able to submit it, but we may not be able to close it. And so I sent him the meme where it goes, so you're telling me there's a chance? Like, yep, exactly. So prep your clients to make sure that they have their down payment. Make sure that they're very aware, like, it's still a seller's market, but it's a little bit wild right now. So make sure that they have down payment, make sure they have all their documents together, you know, ask them, hey, have you gotten your documents together? Hey, you know, are you realistic on what your purchase price is? Are you realistic on what your payment is? Like, go ahead and pre-screen them for me. I don't give 2 shits. Get them ready. And if they're not right now clients, but they're close, like let's say they're 629, right? But I can't go below 640. Everybody knows pricing below 640 right now is pretty much garbage anyway. So why not take the extra 30 days to get their score up to 640 so that we don't go from having no discount points to 2 discount points? Especially on anything 200 and up, that's $4,000 extra that they don't need to have. So
the credit report guys are killing it right now because everybody needs a higher score. So it's definitely important to have a good credit repair guy in your arsenal, for sure. I mean, yeah, I like to give advice, but I also like to leave the tough stuff to the pros. That's for sure.
Uh-huh.
So if
So
the balance is being paid down, that's one thing. But if it's getting shit deleted, nope.
Right.
So I got two things that I would suggest agents and loan officers do in order to make money in this current climate. Number one, and everyone's kind of talking about this, they're just upon this, you know, you have to treat this like, and I actually heard this from another loan officer in one of Wayne's calls on a Hero Nation call. Treat it like triage, right? You are a battlefield wartime medic, right? You only save the ones that can be saved right now. You cannot save everybody. It's impossible, right? We just got to focus our energy on the ones that can be taken care of right now. So instead of chasing all the buyers, if you have a semblance of them not being able to qualify based on what you're hearing from your lenders and such, don't put too much time into those people, right? I'm not saying ignore them. I'm not saying, brush them off or whatever. I'm saying don't chase after those people. Chase after, like Dominica said, the 640s and up, right? Focus your marketing on that, right? Don't beat yourself up too much if you're not hearing from a buyer who might not qualify anyways. Okay. Plus, the ones that have the paperwork together, those are the ones you should focus on. The ones where you have to kind of chase them because they're ignoring your calls, they're not giving you the paperwork that you need. Those people don't want help anyways. Move on to the ones who are ready. Move on to the ones who are excited or motivated to do something during this time, right? So that's a combination. You have to focus on the ones who are, of course, qualified, but also the ones who are willing to put in the work and time and meet you at the 50-yard line, because now it's not a time for people to slack, right? Like, Ariel said, we are already worn thin. We can't be chasing every single person. We have to, like I said, choose our battles.
Yeah, you have to be now. Yeah, man, you have to be a sorter, not a converter, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the mindset you have to have. That's the shift you have to have. Yep. That's the first
thing.
The
people you can help. The people you can't help, hey, it's okay. Now's not your time, buddy.
Yeah.
You can't buy a house. Just keep renting.
I'm going to follow up to what he just said too. So depending on how they were getting their leads before, that part doesn't change. If they're still naturally generating their own leads, that's great. And I always tell people, do the videos. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Get on Facebook and do the videos. And once you have a conversation with your lender once a week, what's happened, what's changed, then do a video. I saw, I don't know if she's in this group, Lana Parks did a video on forbearances, and I was like, yes, girl, do the video. Like, talk about the video, get the cheat sheet, take notes from what your lender says, and then do a video and explain it to the people you're friends with. Because, I have clients, I have realtors I'm friends with, and like, did you not see my video? Have you not seen this posted on Facebook 17 times? And they're like, no, I haven't. Facebook algorithms are weird. Be the educational source, because your lender may not hit everybody. You being on Facebook versus even sharing my video is two different things. So do the videos and hit people, because every time I do a video, I wind up getting somebody that pops up going, hey, I saw your post about mortgages. So be the realtor that does the video, is the education source, because they're going to see that, they're going to remember that, and they're going to come back to you. And now they're going to go, hey, what do I need to do to get prepared? If you tell them they need to get prepared, then they're going to come back to you and say, what do I need to do to get prepared? Because the people that want to buy will find you. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's also a great time to build your pipeline for the future, because, let's call it what it is. Some people are just scared to buy right now, and they don't want to. But it's also a great time to send them to your lender to get pre-approved to see what they can do. Or maybe they do on their credit. Maybe they do need to look at in the June, July timeframe of buying, and it's still not a bad time to start the process. You just can buy a house this weekend. Something to keep in mind.
Yeah, and to kind of, again, add to everything that everyone's saying, not only are you kind of focusing your target a specific way, but you should hit your database with the same mentality, right? You have a database. Dude, I've read somewhere marketing has increased by 300%. People are at home. They're doing jack shit, right? Mm-hmm. So they're answering their phones. They're checking their emails, and they're on Facebook and Google or whatever. So now is a good time to touch your database and try to reach out, because the people that don't pick up the phone calls in the middle of the day, BCV, as in before coronavirus, they're picking their phones up today, right? So I call it BCV and then ACV. Right now we're in CV, right? So BCV, they're not picking up the phones. CV, they will, right? So I definitely would tell people, you all have a database. You should be attacking it. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, like Donica was saying, like, I mean, literally they're all saying people are scared because, I mean, they want to wait because they're scared, right? And I had a client who actually said that to me. He was qualified. He has the funds. He has the income and everything like that. But he's like, but, you know, I'm predicting that the prices are going to go down. So I kind of want to wait. I'm like, listen, nobody has a crystal ball. We don't know if the price is going to go down or not, right? They might go down. They might go up. Who knows, right? But everybody's waiting. So it would actually give you an edge if you are already prepared, because the moment it's go time, you already can pull the trigger when everyone else is still trying to scramble to, you know, catch up or get started, right? So why not be prepared so that you can go ahead and make the decision? So, I mean, I actually told this to a client, and I told the agent the same thing, and the agent's going to work on trying to give them the same kind of information, because we should be pushing people to get prepared, because we don't know what's going to happen, right? We have no idea. If the prices jump down, then you should already be pre-qualified to make an offer, right? So it's definitely better to be prepared. And Lindsay, on one of our calls, she actually said something really cool. She said in secondary, somebody from secondary said there's 5 trillion in demand for loans that's going to hit the market, whereas our capacity is at 2. Okay, so we're probably not going to be able to meet capacity whenever everything is all said and done. So you don't want to be left behind and not be a part of the capacity that they don't have to provide. So everything's telling you should go ahead and get prepared now, for clients at least.
The whole prices being lower thing, I got into it with somebody on Facebook in Real Estate Mastermind about this, because he was convinced that the bottom is going to fall out of the market for pricing. And I just wanted to shake him like a baby, because that's the dumbest thing I think I've ever heard. Because how logically, 2008, we had a surplus of houses. We had lenders and appraisers and realtors all in bed together to inflate value. Okay, sure, let's go down the road. It doesn't make any sense mathematically. Now that everybody has all the restrictions, we don't have the same market. It is still a seller's market. If you take COVID out of it, it was a seller's market before, it's going to be a seller's market afterwards, because millennial generation is moving out of college and moving out of their parents' basement, especially after this, because they've been cooped up with them for 45 days straight. It doesn't make any logical sense that the value is going to come out of the market, because it's still going to be based off of a risk scenario. Like, they're going to do the 5 steps to what is it? CoreLogic does the 5 risk classes, and everything is risking perfectly fine on all my appraisals. So the bottom is not going to fall out. Are people going to wind up having stupid moments? Let's say half of the people that didn't need a forbearance wind up foreclosing. So we have 5 million foreclosures, but how many homes, how much in mortgage debt is there in the United States? How many actual homeowners are there? Like, there's upwards of 100 million. So we're talking very small percentage points of the number of people that are going to wind up having to sell under what their value is. It's very small.
I'm with you. I don't think it's going to go down. I don't think anything's going to happen in that regard whatsoever. I mean, it may plateau, fine, great. I mean, we're fine anyway. So I don't think anything's going to, drastically decline like it did in 2008. It's just, I just don't see it happening.
But I think that's good for agents. I mean, if we're not talking about foreclosures and we're not talking about short sales, guess what we're talking about? Listings, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's so much
Yes.
equity in houses right now that nobody wants to walk away from it and lose that money.
Yep.
So go list them. Like,
Yep.
just like Ariel said, like, if you can figure out a way to target millennials and get them out of their parents' basement, they're going to be so excited. And you're going to be helping all their little millennial friends. And you'll be Mama Duck. Like, there's opportunity out there everywhere. Just figure out a direction to go and do it. Like, take some really, really good action on some specific book of business, whatever you want that to be. It may not be soccer moms and karaoke, but, not everyone can be me.
But I mean, the truth of the matter is, and everyone's saying it, I mean, there's so much opportunity that's happening now, and that's going to happen in the future. And obviously there's a shift, and what happens in shifts, people kind of die out, right? Mortgage companies are starting to shut down or trim down their abilities. Lenders are kind of falling out, agents are falling out, right? But that means the ones that stick around, there's going to be bigger market share. There's going to be a lot more opportunities. And the ones who are aware and prepared, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Everyone should be prepared, not just buyers or people want to buy houses, but loan officers and real estate agents. We should all be prepared, because it's going to go crazy. and you don't want to miss out whenever that happens, right? I mean, let's put it this way. I actually, just like everyone's saying, I actually predict some sort of a rush or demand in purchasing, right? Once COVID is over, ACV, like I like to call it, once it's over, there's gonna be a huge rush in purchases. So it's like a gold rush, right? People just try and grab as much as they can. And who gets rich in a gold rush? The people selling the shovels. Okay. So be prepared with your tools and your shovels and everything that you need to help these people, because they're going to need help. And best thing to do first is make sure they know who you are. So like I said, attack your database and talk to the right people. Focus your energy on the ones that are going to be ready. So if there's people that are waiting, fine. Make sure you are there while they're waiting to keep on educating them. So when they're no longer waiting, you're part of their team, right? At least that's my advice.
Love that, Larry. That's good.
Hey, we have 10 minutes and a question. So Gary asks, are y'all worried about what will happen come June, or do you think things will be back to normal, or at least heading towards normal? I'm not sure what he means by June. What do you guys think he means by June? Gary, if you can clarify, that'd be awesome.
I'm going to assume until he answers that he means when all of the shelter in places are supposed to be lifted and people are supposed to go back to work. I think we have another 6 months of getting back to, I don't think it's going to be, this is the new normal. I think we have 6 months of getting back into play. So I think we have 6 months of don't run around like a chicken with your head cut off. Don't stick your head in the sand. I think we have 6 months to rebuild. And I think Barry Habib is the one that said it, is we're going to have a blip. We're going to have a speed bump. This is the speed bump. This is the start of the speed bump. Is like in my county, realtors are not considered essential. They cannot show houses. You can't go into a house that's vacant right now in Mecklenburg County to see it, which is a little bit insane. So people are having to go under contract with a $25 due diligence to even look at some of these houses that they want to see to be able to put offers in on. So they're going under contract sight unseen. I think we're going to have a while before we get back to normal, because when you think about it, we have all these people that are furloughed and, you know, dealing with income shortages. For them to catch back up, like if you got behind on a bill, how long does it take you to normally catch a bill back up if you got behind? 3 to 6 months. That's easy math. And then they're telling, like, for when they do release the shelter in place, we're going to have people that have to wear masks. We're going to have businesses that are still considered not essential. There's going to be distancing guidelines. I just went into, I think, the liquor store, and there was like a minimum of, or maximum of 10 people allowed in the store. And I'm like, I'm going to need to get a bigger cart then, because I cannot do multiple trips. I don't know what you want me to tell you. Did he answer his question? Did he clarify? The question was, oh, rates and credit scores
currently.
Okay.
I don't think it'll take till June, honestly. I know Ariel just said 3 months. I don't honestly think it'll take that long. Not across the board, because we're right now we're priced direct with Jenny, and it seems to be like the rates are there as soon as the liquidity clears up at the end of this.
Yeah.
I thought he meant like for people. I agree with you on the rates thing though.
Right. So I feel like even those overlay things will die down a little bit once the 580 to 640 is profitable again for investors. So I feel like Jenny Mae went a long way with their announcement on Friday, although they waited till like 4:45 on Friday, so we could not have any outlet to answer questions. But they did provide that relief that we were looking for the last few weeks for the servicers. And so hopefully I think we'll start seeing that trickle through, probably if not, 2 or 3 weeks from now, maybe. I don't think it's 3 months, honestly. I think it'll be May.
Yeah, so
they're never going to let us fail. Banking is too big to fail, and there's a reason for that, because we're, 34% of the GDP. So they're going to come sweep in like Superman and save us again before summer gets here, right? Because that's busy season, and this is how this works. So we're going to have rates for a little while. We're just going to have to tough it out for a little bit. That's all.
So I agree with you as far as rates and scores go. I do think that we've already gotten our manufacturer pricing back. Like we lost it for, I think, a total of 4 days. And my branch manager loves manufacturer. I did one and I'll never do it again. Never, ever. Like I will deny the loan before I ever do another double wide. That was a nightmare. But
I love mobile homes. Yeah. So you guys know
Who?
I love mobile homes.
Real estate. Hashtag real estate.
Yeah,
who
real
hurt you
estate.
is what I want to know.
Who hurt you?
I love mobile
J-Mo.
homes.
Once you get to know
You know,
Jason, you'll see why he said that.
Right? No. Yeah, he's right. He wrestles alligators with one-legged men and runs over their dogs, and then buys their house for $504.
That was horrible. I bought their house before I run over the dogs, Danica.
But it was like what, $504.24 you bought the single wide today after you ran over the one-legged man's dog?
Even. And then his girlfriend, I had to talk to him yesterday.
About
It's
4
really
times
bad.
last week. Like, I'm really glad it happens to other people.
I
That's all I
got
gotta
those
say.
3 fake peg legs. You can look at them on Facebook. They
We're
are
on
for
his
sale.
Facebook
Anybody
page, Ariel.
interested?
We can't make this shit up. Like, nothing. I keep asking him, "Is that for real?" And his stories are absolutely for real every time.
God,
I had a double
You
wide
can't write
that was
any
a
better.
flip. I had a double wide that was a flip, and every single one, the inspection, the appraisal, the water test, the termite test came back and it just said yes. And I was like, fuck me.
Right.
Like, you know what? Manufactured homes, this is kind of crazy. I know you guys are lenders, and I probably don't have to tell you this, but manufactured homes are like a specialty niche, right? And there's not a lot of real estate agents that deal with them. And the real estate agents that do, if they don't know what they're doing, they will screw up the whole transaction for the sellers, and it's horrible, right? And if they do not have a foundation inspection, or if they don't have like some knowledge about the foundation, it's really bad. And if they don't know who to call for like that sort of stuff, like as far as the foundation certification and what to do with certification, it's really a crazy thing. Like I hate to really get into it on this call because it's not about manufactured homes whatsoever, but yeah, manufactured homes. I've been selling them for years. No kidding. I've probably brokered, got 300 of them and probably owned 100 plus of them myself. You know.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Ariel. I'm a deals on wheels expert.
Did I tell you guys last week about my manufactured home? I don't think I was ready to talk about it. It happened last Wednesday.
Yeah,
But I
sometimes
think
I'm not ready to talk about my manufactured experiences either.
It was a little rough. So
yeah, they're
like,
rough. Yes.
it was this VA dude, and the loan officers will get a kick out of this. So it was
Wait, you mentioned this one. We talked about both of
Yeah.
ours. Oh,
yeah,
God.
so it's just like yours. It's a 67% DTI. It's barely like by 27 cents is eligible for a VA loan. So I get this contract and I'm like, yo, is this a manufactured home? And they said yes. And I'm like, well, is it a double wide? Well, yes. So the agent then stopped and she was like, well, it's kind of a built-on double wide, like it's a half single family and a half manufactured home. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what the fuck that means. So I drove out there it was like an hour and a half to get out there. I look at it, it looks like a double wide because I see the front and the 2 sides and it looks like a double wide. Well, we wait 18 days. I'm not even kidding you, 18 days. And we get this appraisal at 6:01 on a Thursday night. And it's like, nope, not only is this not a double wide, but it's barely a single wide that has been built on to look like a double wide on all the sides. But in the middle, it's like a U. So it's kind of like a mullet double wide. Like it's
A mullet double
in the
wide.
front and party in the back. Like, I don't know what the fuck this is. But in the meantime, they did it unpermitted, illegally, and they had destroyed the HUD tag with permanent fixtures over it. Like it was dead. All of that work after literally 6.5 months with getting this dude's credit ready and moving forward at 67 DTI, and then boom, done, dead.
Wow.
So Daryl Self asked a question in the Facebook Live. He asked if a buyer has not filed their 2009 taxes, or they say they have, but they can't get their tax transcripts. What do you do in that situation?
Well,
2019?
technically, they have till June
2018?
15.
It's a 2019, he said. 2019.
We don't need them. Not until June 15th.
Right.
And we waive transcripts for now. I don't know about you guys. We're not doing transcripts right now.
We are not, I don't ever require them on anything but USDA.
Yeah.
Like I didn't
Unless it's
require them before.
self-employed.
Daryl, transcripts really aren't a big deal right now.
I actually don't ask for taxes if they're a W-2. There's no reason, because what you're actually introducing the idea of more complications if the underwriter looks at it when it's not necessary to qualify. So
I will get the tax returns, and that way I know if I have to worry about a problem later. But if they're W-2, I put them in the side. I'm like, nope, that's gonna go in the in case I need them folder. No, boo-boo, I'm not running. Mama don't like paperwork. I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is, most underwriters probably would act this way, but they see it, they saw it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's better to just not introduce it. So I don't ask for it unless I require it. Where I probably should do it what Ariel does and just get them just in case, right?
Always,
Get 'em
every
just in
single file,
case.
send them to me,
But-
just in case.
I'm still an underwriter at heart, so
It's better to get them and not
I know,
need them
and hide it.
than need them and not have them.
exactly.
Hide 'em. then you're under the gun.
Yo, my chair has started spinning on its own. I think we should probably wrap it up.
Oh, crap, it is 9 o'clock.
I'm like,
So before we wrap up this call, I want to hear
hang on. Lainey Rada asked about the foreclosure, how to become a foreclosure listing agent for Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae, it's homepath.com, and I'll drop the link on the Facebook Live. And then you can sign up to become a listing specialist there. Do it right now before I forget. And then Freddie, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on. All right. Just dropped, I think I dropped the link in the wrong place. I'll put it here in the comments too, or in the chat on Zoom. So that's the link for Fannie Mae.
Hey, Ariel, change it from panelists to everybody, the attendees.
Whoops.
Yep, that's cool.
Wait, hang on. Oh, I'll pass. There's that one. And And then you have to go to the resources section on both of these websites. You're going to see under resources, real estate agents or real estate professionals, and then you're going to do lender or the vendor application form. So get that done before July. That's all I'm going to say on that. Because there is inevitably going to be a chunk of people, but if you're going to capitalize on people's stupidity, you might as, I mean, what is it? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes?
Mm-hmm.
I have no sympathy for the people. Like, I know several people that are like, well, they said they'd give me forbearance, so I went ahead and took it. Okay, stupid. Don't hurt yourself, okay? Hope breathing and trying to function doesn't take up too much oxygen for you.
I love you, Ariel.
No filter. Zero calm.
I've got the biggest girl crush on Ariel.
So a question Gary asked, wanted to know if you felt things would be shifting back to normal or getting worse. And that's pretty much the last question.
Oh, I don't think we finalized that. So we got manufactured back. I think we're going to wind up with 640 for probably, me personally, my bet is going to be on the next 3 months, we're going to be at 640.
I'll say 1 month. So I'll take the under
I'm
on 3
under
months.
too. I think you're going to see some of the
We're going on the record again,
more risks to
J-Bo.
get more market share. I mean, I don't think the bigger lenders are going to take risks. Obviously, Chase isn't. But like the smaller lenders, I think you're going to see as liquidity improves, I think you're going to see more risk tolerance for the smaller lenders just to get more market share. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see credit unions get aggressive and allow stuff like that. I think ballpark timeline of, let's say you'll start to see some sense of normalcy as these as these warehouses for the services start to open up and everything gets set up for them. I think at that point things will start to unravel, if you will, and hopefully get back to some level of normalcy that we were at before. That's just my guess.
I'm not mad
What,
at
hey,
581.
where'd you hedge your bet, Turner?
Would I hedge it? Nah, I'm going all in.
Where do you think it's coming back? I said 1 month. Ariel said 3. Where do you think?
My birthday is May 16th. I'm going to say it's my birthday present. May 16th.
Boom.
It's happening.
Boom. Hey, wait, but it's like, okay, so I'm going with the 15th and you're going with the 16th. Seriously, that's a little anticlimactic, bro.
Like, the price is right. I'll bet 1,000. I'll bet 1,001.
Right.
Way to be that asshole.
0.01.
Way to be that asshole. Good job.
Right. Okay, so you can have your birthday and I'll take like the end of May. That seems more realistic to me.
Cool.
Larry?
You'll probably be right, though. I think the latter bet is more likely.
Memorial Day. Let's say Memorial
There you go.
Day.
By the way,
Larry.
what if it's the 4th of July and everybody's back to work? It's going to be like
No,
4th of July party ever. I'm going to be so happy.
like, can we, well, right, if we can, but like, can we Zoom 4th of July?
Sure.
Man, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna be like breaking up with
can-
you guys if I don't get to, like, I'm gonna have real people at my house, but also want you guys there. So we'll have
Right?
to Zoom.
We're gonna Zoom 4th of July.
I think maybe we'll
Fantastic.
maybe we should just get Zoom installed into like our glasses. Maybe we should all wear glasses.
Yeah.
Google
We can
Glasses,
walk
let's
around with
invest
our
back in
buddies
those
all the
now.
time. Like our Jarvis computers, Larry, remember? He's on mute.
Yeah,
Both are very
the natives are
supercomputers.
getting restless here. But my prediction is that things will get really, really bad, and the ones who survive are gonna kill it. So I don't have a timeline, but things are gonna get really bad, like a shit show. So yeah, that's my prediction. Okay, I gotta mute myself.
Goodbye.
Again.
That is an angry child. God, I'm glad I have a little girl. Jesus. Okay.
Right?
No, he's crabby. He's so over this.
What
He's
else,
like,
you
it's
guys?
bedtime, Dad.
Like I'm so over this whole
Gary
Zoom
said,
that
wanted
Daddy's
to
doing.
know if you felt things would be shifting back to normal. Oh, we already got that. Did you already finish all the questions?
I think
J-Mo?
so.
I'm calling you
Larry the
J-Mo
host.
from here on out. For the
Larry the
record.
host. Yeah, you know what? I think we got through all the questions, man. That was a great call. Really, I appreciate you guys being on it with me. You know what? Do you guys want to go through, tell everybody what markets you're licensed in, tell people how to get in contact with you if you're if they do want to get in contact with you to ask some questions about a mortgage or ask some questions about a client or something like that?
Well, mine's easy, so I'll go first. I'm only in Texas. World's greatest loan officer, only in Texas, ironically.
Only in
Greatest,
Texas.
greatestlo.com is where I'm at.
Nice. Good.
I'm in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, pretty much the Southeast. I got all the hot, humid states covered except for manufacturing. Don't call me for that. Call whoever Jason Morris uses. And
Who do
I'm
you
playing
use for
that
that,
game.
Jason?
So after this, we're gonna have a Zoom about only manufactured homes and
You
Okay,
know
hang
what?
on a
You're gonna
second.
have to find another assistant
Hold
for
on.
that one.
Pause
Yeah,
real
that's
quick. Who has a dog? I hear dog whining and all of my dogs are out of the room.
that's my dog. He's wild as hell. You know.
I'm like looking around for my dog. I'm like, none of my dogs
Probably
are
been
in.
the film with me. Look here. Hey, come here, buddy. Come here. Look at him. Well, shit. There he is.
You have a
Aw,
mop.
Yeah, he's
That's not a dog.
he's big. He's about 85 pounds. He's big as hell.
Oh, that's cute. I have 180. I have a bear.
Mine
Yeah.
are all teeny-tiny. Mine are all little bitty designer dogs.
Yeah, he's super gentle though. He wants my attention. He's like, hey, daddy, what you doing?
He's
Hey,
all rubbing
Jason.
up on you.
To answer the question, I'm in DC, Maryland, Virginia. Anybody in the DMV, I'm happy to help about any situation that they have. I don't do manufacturing though. Never have. Don't want any part of it. We don't have many around. Well, at least in the area I work in, we don't have very many.
I'll do it when they give it back. I'll do it when they give it back. I don't mind them as long as it's a real manufactured home and not a mullet.
Not a mullet.
I won't do another one. Mine was a flip, and again, every inspection came back bad. On top of it, having a bullet hole in one of the windows. And when it came in for Tidewater,
Hey, bullet holes are normal. Bullet holes are
Yeah.
normal. That's duct tape or you know what, some sheetrock mud. We're good to go. That's not a big problem. You guys are stuck up.
Well, it's not really us. It's, the people that insure the money.
These people that insure the
Motherfuckers.
money, they're so stuck up. We don't like them.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I want to
Yeah,
say
that's
that,
right.
can you please encourage anybody you're telling to do double wides to at least know how to price them? Because we get Tidewater back on mine, and I said, okay, give me comps. And the buyer's agent sent me 3 comps at $87,000. Mind you, this double wide is priced out at $237,000. Yeah.
Wow.
And I asked for comps. I got 3 that were complete ship boxes, still had the wheels on them, all under 100,000. And then the listing agent goes, oh, I didn't price it out before I put it on the market.
Wow. Holy shit. Was it on the beach? No?
No.
Did you ask that listing agent if she'd seen my butterfly ring?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a horrible
The
agent.
fuckers.
No, I called her and I said, were you stroking when you listed it? I'm just curious.
Oh my God.
They didn't like me after that transaction. I really don't
Like
give a shit.
something I would have put on the market personally that belonged to me, Like, yeah, that's a great single wide. It's worth $37,000 on the lease lot. It's totally financeable. Yeah. So Larry, so what markets are you do you do loans in?
So I'm a branch manager. So I guess I cover a lot of states: Arizona, California, Florida, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Hampshire, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas.
They make a song for kids, Alabama, Alaska. You could
You
just
really should on TikTok.
Yeah, maybe someday I will. But yeah, I mean, some of it, there are states that I actually have business in, and some of them are because loan officers under me needed to get licensed or whatever. So that's why, I mentioned the fact that I'm a branch manager. Some states I'm licensed, I'm not even interested in that state, but because, people under me, they needed to be licensed there. But I can help because as a branch manager, I have to get licensed. So I personally can help in any of those states. So yeah, reach out to me if you have any questions on that. But obviously between the four of us, we're connected so deeply in all our circles, and we're all basically in the same circle. We can find anybody in any state. If we're not in your state, we can help you find someone in your state that we would be willing to endorse. So we basically have all you guys covered, no matter what.
Yeah, I had to refer somebody in Jersey this morning. Like who? Like I know somebody, ironically, but yeah.
So it looks like our call's running a little later, but people are still on. I want to know, because this is for my personal benefit as well. And we're probably going to visit this call again next week. I'm pretty sure, Boss Lady, if you are available, we would love to have you back.
He's talking to you, Boss Lady, not me.
Yeah.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to come back next week, I'm pretty sure we'd be love to have you back next week. But what kind of advice should we share with ourselves and everyone else until the next week? Like what should the overall theme or mentality be, or the takeaway from this call?
I go back to don't stick your head in the sand. Don't stick your head in the sand. Like this week for me personally has sucked. Like so did last week. We got Monday at 9:30 in the morning. My branch manager calls me and gives me more bad news. And I said, so this week is going to suck monkey balls. Got it. Okay. And you have to, don't stick your head in the sand. It's going to suck. Get through it. Put your big girl panties on and power through it. This week has sucked. I had to tell somebody today, by the way, unfortunately, we're requiring a mandatory 48-hour review on anything that is under 640 with a debt to income above 43 and a refer eligible. And unfortunately, you hit all three of those. So we're not closing until Friday, which fucking sucked to have to deliver that news. Not fun. Rip the Band-Aids with bad news early. Get those out of the way. Don't stick your head in the sand. Power through it. The longer you wait to deliver any bad news, the worse it's going to get. Because if they find out that you knew sooner, that's a problem. But then celebrate the wins. Just celebrate the wins. I had one I got an appraisal waiver on. I'm like, yes!
Nice.
I literally did that. I was so excited. I don't care. An appraisal waiver, I don't have to worry about having, and it's a primary residence. I don't have to worry about it. Cool. Yeah, you celebrate the little wins. Educate your folks. Educate people. Educate the people around you. Educate the doctor. Educate, if you're on a Zoom call, tell people, hey, by the way, rates are down. Call a lender. Hey, by the way, educate everybody you can get your hands on.
Yep. I love that. Over communicate in a time like this and just be as visible as you can. Especially, for us personally, as LOs, the more we talk to people, the better that they're going to feel. Even if it's bad news, it's tell them sooner than later, like you said. So definitely agree with that.
Annika?
Y'all I would say just keep being safe out there. There's a bunch of us doing things well, and there's a bunch of us not doing things well. So just be careful. Double check everything. Put on your patient's panties. Really, there's not a whole lot else we can do. We're in this together. So be our friend, be our ally. We're not trying to fight against you. We want to get paid too. We want to help our buyers too.
One more thing. Pick up the phone and call people. I know we said it before, but I'm going to say it again. People remember that you reached out to them during a time like this more than any other time, in recent history, because you called in to check on them. I see all these posts on Facebook, I'm going to have a beer with the next 12 people who are my real friends. But you know what? None of those 12 people ever called you to see how you were doing, to see you as an actual friend. But I'm telling you, the people who call their sphere and get in touch with them are going to have the biggest impact on their lives and their own business. So pick up the phone and call people. I spent, a lot of the afternoon yesterday trying to call as many people as I could as I got a break. And it was great to connect with people and touch base and just say, hey, how are you? How are you doing? And it's very impactful. And, in a time like this, I think it's super powerful. So definitely keep that in mind.
Danica, you are the only person, actually, I'm going to follow up on that. Danica is the only person since this shit show started, aside from one of my girlfriends in the entire real estate industry. I have one girlfriend that texted me, hey, are you okay? And Danica's the only other person, literally the only other person that texted me, hey, are you doing okay? And I wanted to burst into tears and be like, no, I'm not okay.
I just want a hug and a margarita.
even if you're not
with
okay,
my friends.
I appreciate it. Like, cause I was having a shitty day and I'm just like, thank you. I needed somebody to say, hey, are you okay? And I can mentally say, no, I'm not okay, but I'll tell you I'm fine. Like, thank you. I just needed some.
That tells you your top 12. I only
Really?
said 12 of those. Yeah.
I'm sorry I
Yeah.
haven't texted you. I've been dealing with shit shows.
Right. My heart still beats for you.
So Donica is also one of the few people that sent me a video, like a video
You want to
text.
tell them where though? I was sitting on the toilet.
I didn't notice that. Yeah, but that's awesome. I think you did say that I'm the only person you was sitting on the toilet for.
Yeah, I said no hair, no makeup, sitting on the toilet, and I'm texting Larry how thankful I am for him.
Yeah, and you know,
That happened yesterday.
And I think that's an awesome theme to think about, guys. You know, we're all human, right? And you know, there's like sort of like the lame kind of douchey way of reaching out with people because of the coronavirus. Hey, because of coronavirus, we're gonna check on you, whatever. But there's also like, you know, hey, just want to check up on you because you know, I hear a lot of people are going through some crises, you know, or how are you holding up, right? It's a good thing to be human, right? And you know, humanity right now is very, very sought after because we're not able to interact with each other in person, you know. So I think the theme is to you know, to be human. Me, that's really hard to do because I'm always about being a robot. But I think that you should build your systems out is what you should be doing as much as possible to be human, right? So if you're going to create follow-up, if you're going to blast everybody, you're going to send an email out, whatever, mailers, you know, send a human kind of a message or send kind of a, you know, just a hello, right? You know, we do these Zoom calls not only because, you know, we want to help and, you know, we're have an opportunity to be connected to each other, whatever, but we also want the human interaction with each other as well, right? And we want to also invite you guys to connect with us as well. You know, I mean, a lot of great things happen on the call. I don't know if you heard, Ariel, but Greg was able to help someone who was on her first call save a loan because their lender gave him some bullshit about USDA needing 36% DTI. Right, he's all like, "What?" So he took the deal, and they're gonna close, or they did close.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So
you know
I mean,
what? Greg's
I got
got
3
a couple
people
loans like
today.
that.
From these Zoom calls. 3 people today.
Yeah, Greg's
I
got
got
a lot of calls from these. Well, he's got a lot of mortgages or people in his pipeline from these Zoom calls because of stuff that like other lenders have said that just don't make a lot of sense. Like exactly what Larry said, 36% DTI.
yeah.
And
That's
the person
crazy.
was like at 40%, which didn't make no sense at all.
Yep.
Blaise, exactly right. Reach out to your mortgage people and ask for a second opinion.
Yeah, and
You guys still have booze? Can we do a toast or a cheers or something?
I got nothing.
I got coffee.
What's it say there? Ariel, what's your cup say?
Hey, careful,
hey, careful, man. There's a beverage here. That's funny.
But yeah, like I said, I think that would be my advice in general. Is just, you know, go out there and be human, connect with people. I mean, you might be surprised, you know, with the people that you connect with, you know. So I appreciate these Zoom calls because we get a chance to kind of hang out and be nerds about mortgages and real estate, you know.
Right.
And, yeah, so really appreciate you guys being here and you know, allowing us to do that. And of course, you know, any question you guys have, you can reach out to us. It doesn't matter what state you're in or if you're wanting to do business with us or not. You know, we like doing it. We like talking about it anyway. So we invite you to connect with us if you.
Yeah,
feel like
everyone
there's
on
an
this
opportunity.
call is a total certifiable mortgage nerd. So we're
So,
happy.
sure.
We're happy
No.
as a pig in shit when you get to talk about mortgages.
And we'll try
I'm
not
not a
to-
mortgage person. I'm not a mortgage person. I just tell real estate agents how to make money. You know.
But you know how to identify good talent.
Yeah, dude. I know about talent. That's right.
So
Well-
I'm going to throw this out here. I do mostly VA and then surprisingly, secondly, a lot of conventional investment with some really fucked up income. Like
That's just your
the
sloppy
more
seconds
complicated
you're
you can make
getting
your
right
tax
now.
returns. Huh?
That's just your sloppy seconds. Like mine are literally all 641 and 642 FHA loans right now.
Oh
All
no,
of them.
like
and they
I
came
can
from
take my
other loan
pipeline.
officers. And I'm
Mine
like,
right down the
boom,
middle is
boom.
mine is VA and then conventional investment properties. Like I have one of my investors, I'm refinancing every single one of her investment properties right now. And I've done the loan so many times that my underwriter is like, just copy and paste this shit. Like the first time he saw it, he's like, what the hell? And then the second time he's like, is this the same person? I'm like, yeah, it is. Because the income calculation is just wild on it. Just
Yo, I'm
wild.
getting a cough. Would you guys cry if I got the Rona?
No, you'll be fine. You're too mean to that.
You're getting the
That's true.
call.
I'm pretty tough.
I think
I'm
you've
pretty
drank
tough.
enough that
You'll be
it
fine.
takes
I'm
care of
good.
that. You know, That's why I've been
absolutely.
drinking bourbon every night. I feel like he gets rid of the corona when it's
How do you know I'm drinking bourbon every night? Because we're on the
That's
we're on
me,
the Zoom
actually.
calls.
We're on Zoom calls every night. We have 28 more scheduled this week.
Right. We're not
Yeah.
sleeping tonight. It's Zoom calls all night long.
I don't know how you guys
that's
are
right.
doing it. Like I'm when you said how many Zoom calls you've been doing, I'm like, Jesus Christ, how are you finding the
Oh my
time?
God. People just message
You
me.
know,
I'm like,
it's helping me. This might help some of you guys. Are we still live? So
Yeah,
it's
we're still
helping me
live.
collapse time, honestly. So I'm
I tell
putting
you what,
these
how about if
Zoom
we
calls.
How about if we take and go off live, wrap this up real quick, go off
Okay.
Facebook, and then we chat for a little bit.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's fine.
Thomas,
That
right?
sounds good.
Okay.
I'm gonna
cool.
go refill my drink.
Yeah. Yeah, Larry's got to do that. I got to do the same thing, and we'll chat for a little bit about Zoom calls.
Yeah,
Is that
10
cool with
minutes.
you guys?
Yeah,
Yeah.
throw off the live.
Larry, do the thing where we go off Facebook. I don't know what you call it. I made you the
Yes.
host because I drank that much. But
Right.
you
So
know.
yeah, so again, everyone who's watching Facebook, really appreciate it. We'll
You're
try
my
and answer
designated
questions when we can.
host.
But yeah, I really appreciate you guys being on the call. Talk to you guys later.
Hey, thanks.
All right, you are off live Facebook. Right now it's just us and the attendees.
Oh,
Hey, attendees.
fantastic.
Can we see
Fantastic.
them now? Like, can you ever switch them to let us see them?
Hey, I'll be right back, guys.
You mean make
Me
them
too. I
panel-
gotta make a drink and smoke a cigarette. I'll be back in like 10 minutes if y'all are still here.
You mean make them panelists? I can make them panelists, but they're all kind of dropping out right now.
I
I'm
know.
gonna make them all panelists. Whoever wants panelists. I mean, hopefully, there's no like crazy naked videos.
Like
going on
nobody's
or anything.
naked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a drink.
Put your clothes on,
Ted,
y'all.
Craig. What's up, Ted?
Now, hey, what's up, Jason?
How you doing, man?
What's going on? How y'all doing this evening?
Good, good.
Great, boss. How you doing?
I love the background, man. Nice.
Hey, that was entertaining at best.
That is an awesome background for sure. That is for sure.
Thank
Yes.
you, thank you.
Ted, you got any questions we can help with?
No, a lot of information was great, man. I really appreciate the invite. I've been on a lot of Zoom and webinars all week, so a lot of the stuff that y'all was discussing, I was pretty familiar with. So I'm just watching everything and see how everything flow. And I understand it's a day-to-day process. Like every day, something new is changing every day. So just watching it. Thanks for the Earl. Thanks for the information about the home path and home step, because I definitely want to sign up for that real soon.
Well, and I'm just sitting here again. My girlfriend works at Round Point. I'm doing their mortgage right now, actually, and I swear every day she'll message me something new, and I'm just like, the fuck is this shit? Like, it's getting wild. I have the inside scoop because she's there and she's telling me all the shit that's going on, and I'm like, good, great, just fucking great.
Yep. So I'm game for that, because I'm sure there's going to be a few opportunities with short sales and foreclosures and things like that.
And I dropped the link for the vendor application there's one for Freddie and one for Fannie. So Fannie's called Home Path, Freddie is called Home Steps. Those are the two foreclosure programs they have. I just dropped the link for the application for Fannie in there. I think I already did Freddie, but I'll do it again just to be safe. Again, like after she started telling me this shit and people are just blindly taking these stupid things, and I'm sitting here going, when I realized last week, and I hadn't had a chance to do a video on it yet, I'm going to jump off of this and do a live video on Facebook, that like, I don't think it clicked for a lot of people that once you're in forbearance, you are so fucked. Like, it's not even funny.
I know. I took a virtual listing appointment the other day, and the seller, he wants to move up and he's qualified. But then in the conversation, he said, yeah, I did a forbearance. I said, oh my gosh, you gonna keep your house? You ain't going nowhere. You are not going nowhere. And then he called me. He said his credit score dropped 35 points.
Ooh.
35 points, and he still was gonna make his payments, but just the fact that he had forbearance on there, it dropped the score 35 points overnight.
Yeah, it's real fast and it's real vicious. It doesn't take any time for it to happen.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I said, dude, you can't even move now.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. So we live and we learn, right?
Yeah.
So
Tarisha's here too. Is that Tarisha from
I was thinking the same thing. I don't know if it's her or not. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi, Tarisha.
So my rationale or philosophy has always been better safe than sorry, right? So, they're like, people are asking, well, what happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? I was like, well, let's make sure we don't have to answer that question
Right.
by doing the right thing, right? That's literally what I've been telling people. you know. So, for example, we have buyers who are qualified BCV, but now because of what happened, they might not be qualified, but things might change. Who knows? They're asking, should they make an offer and get a contract? I'm like, well, you want to gamble or not? I mean, what do you want to do? It's like, well, I really don't want to gamble. It's like, yeah, that's probably the right decision because it would be really bad if we went through the entire process and we can't fund, right? So definitely better to just be safe than sorry, no matter what decisions you're making, especially when it comes to something major like real estate.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I had a client of mine, who I pre-approved, and he's a very strong buyer, but his hours have been reduced because there's not enough work, right? And then he was like, well, should I file for unemployment because I'm not really getting the hours that I need? I'm like, dude, if you file for unemployment, you're not going to be able to buy a house if you go out and find one. So, you got to keep that in mind. You have to weigh the pros and cons. If you don't want to buy, that's fine. But if you do want to buy, then you're going to have active employment. You're going to have income. And you're going to have all of the things that are needed to qualify.
Yeah. I lost a lot. At least 5 people that was going to be buying in this April-May time frame because of they lost their jobs. So I definitely my heart definitely goes out to their family and in this situation. Really strong buyers. I mean, good credit score, good jobs, but they just school teachers. One of them, he was like he wasn't really a teacher. He was in the education. He was like what did he do exactly? He was a gym teacher. Physical education. That's what he did. So he lost his job like soon as this happened. Through an email. They didn't even call him. They just sent him an email saying, you're losing your job April 1st. Like, oh gosh. So yeah.
I had a client that happened too. So my client, she is, almost 800 credit score, 20% down, good job. We cleared it closed. We go to do the verbal, and we did the verbal. It came back that she was no longer unemployed, and she didn't know yet.
Wow.
That sucked.
That sucked.
So she found out through that. Oh my God. That's the worst.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that was not a fun call.
Right.
But I'm glad to hear everything going good on y'all end. Everybody healthy. Larry, your son's scaling the wall.
I think my kids are probably like they're definitely coronavirus immune. I think it actually made them stronger. It made them stronger and faster. Yeah, I mean, like Wayne was saying, how many kids does he have? And I'm like, dude, I think they're cloning themselves. Seriously, like there's 4 of them instead of I thought he was over here, but he ends up over here. Like, what the?
I just figured there's like 17 of them. Some look. You got 17. Some of them have to look. Let's say mom and dad. They got to look like that.
Most of the time, I'm like, yeah, let's get our kids together. If I have a realtor with kids my age, I'm like, yeah, let's get our kids together. Larry, I never want to fucking meet your kids ever. Ever.
Yeah. I think they're crazy. I like it.
I'm gonna mute myself again, but it was nice talking to y'all.
All right, Chad.
I'm not going anywhere yet, though. I'll still be here.
Oh, you're bringing back in here, Larry. Okay, I told you I don't want to meet him, and here he is. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just my help has basically said, "Are you done yet? Are you done yet?" So I'm like, "We're done." I mean, we're just kind of hanging out. So.
Well, I feel bad. Like, I don't know how many other people on this group are loan officers, aside from the 4 of us, but I know that, God bless my fiance, I have not relied on anybody quite as hard as I've relied on him in the past month. Like, on February 28th, when rates hit the floor, and we were in the middle of our own purchase on top of everything else. So I'm dealing with trying to be a mom and trying to pack up our current house and go through our closing. And I told him, I'm like, I need you to pretend I'm not here anymore, and you are now a new parent of a 4-year-old, because I cannot right now. I just cannot. I have so much shit I have to get done. I cannot right now. So I don't know how many realtors were also impacted like that, but for loan officers, I know that was me.
How old are your kids, Ariel?
4, 14, and 16.
Damn. Mine are 10. My son turns 11 next week, so that's sad. Because I have a surprise. Well, I have a surprise Zoom meeting.
So Ariel, does your older kids, do they help out with the younger one at all? I mean, in any way, shape, or form, or anything? Or
So I bought a golf cart so that they could take her and get her the fuck out of the house, if that counts.
Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, I wish one of them drove a golf cart.
Yeah, they will take her and they'll ride her around the neighborhood now, which is good. The best $4,000 I've ever spent, not gonna lie, because then they're all out of the house, and I don't have to worry about mom, Ariel. Can I? Hold on.
So I think, I think.
Hey, Larry, I heard them talking shit about your kids while I was outside smoking, and that's bullshit. Like, I want all three of them in a Donica cuddle puddle. Like, I love those kids. I think they're the cutest little boys I've ever seen in my entire life.
You could have them.
I want them just for like a date night, though. I want to give them back, but just for like a date night for you and Christy. Like, I totally want them.
Someone, they
like
asked that.
20 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of people
No,
ask.
they can come swim in the pool when it's warm enough.
You know that
Chick-fil-A, let them play in the balls, and then give them back to Larry, have him pick yeah.
Donica,
I will sugar him up. I'm a good aunt.
Donica, you look beautiful. Your skin is great. You have no gray hairs on your head. Why would you do that to yourself?
I do have gray hairs. Look, I do. Hold on.
Your
Here,
blonde
here.
doesn't count.
You see this? You see this big patch of gray right there?
That's like what do you call it? That X-Men character.
That's called overlays. That's overlays.
Overlays. No, is it Rogue? Is it
Rogue, yeah, Rogue has
it's
it too,
Rogue.
yeah.
Yeah, Rogue with the white hair.
Yeah.
So you know that
That one.
meme? You know that meme? People asking, what would you do? You know, like real estate agents are asking this question, like, if you were, after the quarantine virus, if you're gonna buy a new house, what would you add or change or differently? My answer is always a second house for my freaking kids. That would be my answer. You know what I'm saying? Or what is the first place you're gonna? What's the first thing you're gonna do when you leave? Drop my kids off somewhere. That's the first thing. I mean, that's literally where I'm at right now.
To Aunt D's. You want to bring them to Aunt DK's house.
Yeah, I'll
Y'all
do
can
that.
all call me DK. You don't have to try to struggle with my name.
Yeah, I just want to go to the
I
gym.
answer to it.
Okay.
And
That's all I want to do.
Wayne calls me Danica. I think it's cool. I blame it on his like Alaska upbringing. I let it go.
Yeah.
Danica,
Okay,
I don't like. Danica's
I've
the
been
right
calling
way.
you Danica because I'm white trash.
Danica is freaking cool. I like Danica.
I'm gonna call you
Danica.
the Big D from now on.
Big D.
The reason why I remember Donica's name being Donica because it rhymes with harmonica.
Right. You can
And
sing
then-
the Hanukkah song and remember how to do it right.
I made some song up like I want to be like Donica, smoke on marijuana, use a harmonica.
That's what I was just doing. But of course, y'all all know that.
Yeah, that's how. That's
Except
how
for
I
you,
remember.
Chad. I'm sorry if I just offended you, but the rest of you know that.
Yeah, but that's how I remember Donica is harmonica
And marijuana.
and marijuana.
Yeah.
That's the important part, if we're
Yeah.
being honest. So
And-
how's business, you guys, for real? How's everything going? To my three that are here.
Everything's good for me.
This month has been really busy for me. I don't know
Yeah.
if you hear this thing's acting up, but this month has been really busy for me as far as closings go. But I got 2 contracts yesterday for next month's. And I'll probably get some more refis in for the end of the month. I'm predicting May to be just like kind of so-so month because of everything going on. But I'm
So I thought,
It's a decent
Ariel,
amount.
last time you heard from me, I thought I had lost $650,000 for April. But it turns out I only lost the mullet manufactured home because the one that had the phantom cavers number. You remember that one?
Yes.
Like HUD emailed me back and they were like, nope, oops, it was our problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So that's like a
So-
$460,000 FHA loan.
So wait,
that's
what are you talking about? A phantom? What did you say? A phantom? What?
okay. So this dude, I had 2 loans last week.
Wait,
that
hang on,
normally
Danica.
this.
Donica. I don't think he knows what Cavers is. That's what he's asking.
Do you know what
Yeah, I don't
Cavers
think I
is?
know what
Oh, I was
Ca-
about
I
to
don't
go
think I know
all the
what
way
that
back.
is.
Thank you, Ariel. So Cavers
Yeah,
is
thanks.
the credit alert system. So if you have a federal derogatory debt, you have
Okay,
a flag.
I'm
So
sorry.
it's
I was
like
thinking.
the ECOA or the OFAC list if you're a terrorist.
I was thinking he did some fucked up like swap titles, and not that I've been involved in that, but maybe.
It's
Oh.
usually it's usually
Maybe with a peg leg and a dead dog.
Oh God.
no Cavers usually does like kind of like like she said federally like money debt or owed or whatever
So
and
so Ariel
sometimes
already-
property related.
Ariel already knows the story, but Larry and Jason, this is the weirdest fucking thing. So like this dude has 0 mortgages on his entire credit history. So like 0 mortgages in 10 years, reporting.
But
No,
that's my
nothing.
life right there, actually.
Right, he's got a 780 credit score, a 30 DTI, really good, solid loan. All of a sudden, we do the appraisal logging for this FHA loan, and Kaver says, "Oh, you had a foreclosure within 3 years." I'm like, "How the fuck is that possible? The man hasn't even had a mortgage in 10 years."
You know what? I know how it's possible.
How?
It's because he has one showing up in the public records. He had something owner financed. So
No, here's what happened. So he went through one of these modification things like last time.
really,
And he was fighting with Chase and they wouldn't take his money and they wouldn't modify his loan. And 4 years later, he's got a foreclosure. Well, all of that shit got expunged from credit reports. Like it's not on his credit report because they literally removed the entire thing to make it up to him for fucking it up so bad.
Wow.
Well, but it still triggered Cavers. So then I called HUD. Like I personally called HUD. That's the day that I dialed the FBI because HUD and the FBI have one digit off from their 800 number.
Jesus.
So I go to call HUD to
I
find out
still
when this
needed your
dude's
phone number, Danica.
right. So I saved it that day. I saved it as FHA HUD.
Not
Don't
like
ever call
three-
the
did
FBI
you-
again.
I'm not like 3 letter agencies.
You know what was
in my
funny?
life.
Like it's just friends here, right? Like what was
Okay.
funny is I was stoned as fuck. And I'm like, holy fuck, the FBI just picked up this phone. What the hell is happening? And I was trying to call HUD.
Yeah.
And so I finally get HUD on the phone and they're like, no, dude, we can't find anything and nobody's working. So you're going to have to wait 48 hours and we'll send you an email or a phone call. Well, then I get an email on Friday, but I didn't even see it until Tuesday. And it's like, oh, no, we didn't find any Cavers thing. We released it totally. So now that loan came back. Like, how weird is all of that?
That is,
In 20 years,
Yeah, that's
like, I
kinda
hate it
weird.
when agents say this shit. I hate it when they're like, in 20 years, I've never seen anything like this. But in 20 years, I've
I
never
think,
seen anything like this.
You know what? Because I haven't had a bank loan since 2007, right?
Things
So,
have changed, J-Mo.
Yeah,
you know that
things
I'm
have
calling you
changed.
J-Mo from here on out, and J.
JMO. Yeah, so I haven't had a bank loan, but I own
no, I'm
like,
renaming Jason Turner Tina Turner. That's a thing.
I don't know how to
So-
shorten Jason.
Grandma.
yeah, just call me.
JT. He's JT. Jason's
Oh my
JT.
JT.
God,
Okay,
no,
JT. I'm DK.
JT
J-Mo.
was on our last call, Danica, and he's fucked up. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Which
My
one was
buddy
that? The one
been's
we
fucked
just
up.
talked to?
Yeah, the one that
With the
had
beard?
the RV shit that with the beards. He's my buddy,
Okay.
right?
No, I'm
Sometimes
super
it's
excited about him
fucked
moving
up.
to Dallas. Larry, he's mine.
Oh no,
I'm
no,
liking
no!
this
You're
man.
talking about Anthony.
Yeah, the dude we just talked to.
Like seriously, Anthony has shit going on. Like
He
he's
invited
my
me to
buddy.
coffee when he got here.
That's
I'm
awesome.
He's
like,
my
fuck yeah, he
buddy,
spelled tequila
and,
wrong. Does he not drink?
No, he's like on this sobriety kick, but he's like on a different world, right? So like he's my buddy, but sometimes he tells me shit I can't relate to because anyway.
So, do you think I should have coffee with him? Circle yes
Oh,
or no.
Totally.
Okay, sweet. I will.
Really, he has a lot of stuff going
He
on.
did
I
have a
don't know about
majestic beard
Texas.
and a really cool accent.
He
from
did. He had like a
Louisiana.
David Allen Coe beard. I was in
Yeah.
that too.
I
When
like
I
those
seen it, I
Cajun
was like,
people.
holy shit! I wish I could grow a beard and hair like that, you know. But like I got a 12-day beard, and I was thinking about shaving before the call, and I said no, I can't let you guys down.
It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot.
Thanks.
You got the whole posty thing going. Maybe you should get
Yeah.
some face tattoos next.
I'm thinking about one around
That
here,
would
like,
really match your story. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So but so I haven't had a bank loan since 2007. And I don't really give a shit about it because I do deals anyway, and I own like 70 houses, and I have a total like $40,000 debt. So I know a lot about this whole going around the system thing with mortgages and stuff. Not that I work around the system, but I just work on deals that are mobile home.
All four of us on this call work around the system. You
Yeah,
guys, do
yeah,
we have
so,
some spies here? Can we like kick people off the Zoom call?
You know what? They're probably hanging out here just because.
Are they listening? Teresa,
know.
Nancy, Vicky? I feel like they're Carols.
Larry is
So-
probably Larry's probably the only one that kicked him off because I made him the host. Because
Larry, can you
They
kick them all off?
Yeah, let
when
me
I
know-
started talking, I didn't even
Can we
understand
tighten
what
the
I was
circle of
saying.
trust here, if you will?
Yeah, I'm
So can
removing
I
them
tell
right
you guys
now.
the end of that FHA Caver story? So
Yeah, I want to hear that.
I was sitting at 2.45 and I was gonna lose 650. So if you hear those numbers, I'm still sitting at 2.2 for the month.
That's good.
Are y'all
Nice.
fucking kidding me?
That's really good.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm
Like I just had my greatest month ever last month at 1.56. 2.2 is mind blowing.
That's
I lost,
awesome.
I lost 500,000 yesterday.
You
Yes.
lost what, 500,000? Yeah, it happens.
I have 3.99 for this month.
Nice.
Nice.
Is that a lot of refis?
I don't know. Hang on, let me look. My
I'm
one
really
investor,
trying to do refis. I'm really trying to make myself want to do refis.
my one
I
investor.
love doing refis.
Y'all, I have like 4.5 million worth of them to do. I just don't want to fucking do them. Like, I just don't want to do them.
You stubborn ass. That's what you are.
I know. I just need to do them. Y'all need to work up my estimates for me and then it'll be fine. Like, I can't get past the estimate point. Like, I don't even fucking want to.
What do you mean estimates? I'm doing a 5-minute burner call. You get 5 minutes of my time for me to tell you whether or not it's worth it. What's your loan to value? What's your purchase price? What's
will
your
you
FICO?
role play with me in the morning after you have your coffee and Adderall?
I'll role play with you right now. Okay, let's pretend you're the client. Hi, Donica. How much is your loan? Okay, I'm gonna do we're gonna do a litmus test if this is a good idea, okay?
Hold on.
I have a totally different idea what role playing is.
I mean, I also have those pants on or off, however you want to take that. There's definitely a blanket over my lap. Okay. So, all right, Donica, sorry.
Wearing
Donica.
pants, boys?
Huh?
Yeah,
Boys,
I'm
are you
wearing,
pants free?
I'm wearing pants.
I'm in shorts.
See, look, pants.
Got a whole lot of leg
That's
popping.
I
hot.
have my
That's
favorite shirt
hot.
on.
Jason, look up. No, Ariel, put that back up. Jason, look up.
Hey,
Oh, man,
I
that's so great.
got a saying that's kind of like
Rob
that.
Zombie shirt on.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
My boss is telling me to get mortgage statements because here's the deal with my system. If I put a refinance lead into the system, I have to turn it to a loan and I have to disclose it within 3 days, like no exceptions.
You have Optimal Blue?
No.
How do you price?
It's through loan LQB through Price My Loan. Like, I don't have any idea. We're all through Ginnie, Fannie, Freddie. Like, we're just we're selling direct right now for everything, servicing 100%.
Okay,
There's
so
no-
you can price outside of your LO system.
No.
You have a
It's
dummy
Oh,
loan?
wow.
Yeah, I can do a quick pricer. Like, I can just throw a scenario in there and generate a estimate. But are y'all using Mortgage Coach? My boss told me to get Mortgage Coach and do these little things. But I'm sitting here, I'm like, not even, I mean, close to $6 million in refis. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing with them, honestly, because I've done purchase money for 19 years and 7 months.
Okay, so you don't have, I'm a little floored by this because I have Optimal Blue and I can price inside Encompass and then outside Encompass. You don't have a way to price anything outside.
Wow.
Or like, wait, like if I price something out, I have to disclose it immediately within 3 days. So like, I don't have time to get these things out.
Why do you have to disclose?
I don't know. That's the service first way. It's weird, right?
That is super fucking weird.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
mean,
very
because
quirky.
you know the address and you have all the points of information, but I mean, you have to be able to quote somehow without triggering a loan act. I mean, it's just
Right. Now I can clearly get around the system because rules were made to be broken and that's what I do. But now we just got this like scathing email about don't do this and the system exactly what I'm fucking doing to get around it. And I got like 17 of them motherfuckers that I got to disclose.
Okay, I would tell you, like, I had flat out told my CEO to pick which one of my pasty white ass cheeks to kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Either one. Left side is better. Because I'm bringing in how much business, and I alone make up 15% of our entire company's volume. So fuck off.
So why the left side?
What left side?
She said the
left
left
side?
side's better. Yeah, she said
wait,
just
should I-
fine, but left side's better.
Your
I don't know.
left-
I
your
was
left
just wondering
cheek.
why. I was just
Hold
wondering
on.
if the left
Now
side
I
was
can't hear
better,
you
that's
guys
all.
because I'm shifting to the right side. I'm trying the right side out.
Her right side's better, my left side's better for ass cheeks, if that's what we're asking about. It's 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, that's what I
left-handed.
was asking. Left-handed. Really?
It's my dominant ass cheek, if you will.
Really?
You know what?
That's
A lot of redheaded girls are left-handed. I've noticed that in my life. I've got a lot of redheaded experience, actually. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know
you're
that.
a fan of redheads.
Yeah, I am. I have a problem with that, actually.
She's very pretty. She's a pretty redhead
Yeah,
too.
she is. She is. I agree with you. When you said, hey, Ariel, I was kind of familiar with her. Not that I'm stalking your page out, Ariel, right?
Not that we weren't just talking about you last night with Brad.
That's right.
Oh my
I-
god, I'm super
Brad and
confused.
Jason are like legit life besties. Like they're hetero life mates. They're
We
real
are.
buddies.
We
Is-
are.
They
We
got a
are
romance.
actually life besties. It's kind of weird, you know.
Is he
some-
gay? I'm super confused.
Ah,
You know
no, he's
what? I
not gay,
thought
but that's
that
Jason. That's what I'm
was-
telling you.
I thought that he was gay at first, but then, you know, now I'm friends with him. Like we're years in our relationship, me and Brad. And I don't think he's gay, but it kind of confuses me sometimes because he hangs out with a lot of gay people.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Doing gay things.
all right,
But $20
Jason,
I don't
is
want to say
$20.
gay. Yeah,
Okay,
$40.
so-
Well, it's supposed to was $40. Now we're in coronavirus time, so it's $20.
Right, it's right, the markup.
Yeah.
Morris,
Yeah,
you're
it's one
you're
thing.
in at least Ava's Army or you're in Real Estate Happy Hour, right?
Both.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
right.
knew I couldn't remember where we were friends from on Facebook because Brad tagged me in that thing. I'm like, okay, all right, I know I'm friends with Jason. I have no idea where I know him from. So the group of us that went out there for her funeral, there is a Facebook, message group we have, and it's the title of our, chat group for everybody that went out there together is more of a gay apocalypse, if you will. And he's in there somehow, and he's not gay.
And Brad is all over that shit, isn't he? So when I first met Brad was hanging around this one dude that was like in gay porn. He was hanging out with this other guy that was his broker that was a gay. He was hanging out with all his gay dudes. And I was like, hey, man. And so I met him selling real estate because he's in my market, right? And we kind of hit it off. And, we thought a lot of the same things were funny. And anyway, we met and had lunch and stuff together a bunch of times. And long story short, finally I was like, and I mean, dude, he's obsessed with me. I don't know if you guys know that, right?
He is totally obsessed with you.
He is totally obsessed with me. It's
But
really
also
strange.
obsessed with me and Ariel. I think I think it's an obsession, just a disorder.
So,
I think maybe
but,
he's on the spectrum or something. He's
Yeah.
obsessed with you, Ariel.
He calls me every day, and it's hilarious. He lives in a camper with his girlfriend, and I helped him find a place in a Mexican trailer park. And it's one of my buddies. So I own like three pieces of property that are trailer parks, and he was trying to rent from me. And I was like, dude, I don't want to kick you out. I don't want to have to evict you or have a problem with you, right? So I talked to a friend of mine, and I'm like, hey, man. So I went over to his mobile home park, figured out where we could put Brad. I'm like, hey, take this Bobcat and move this pile of trash like 30 feet over for Brad, right? And next thing I know, his girlfriend's calling me talking about this is the nicest place we ever lived. And I helped him pull his mobile home over there. So Ariel, I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if Jason knows this or not, but I am like extremely deep in this whole mobile home thing, right? I own a lot of mobile homes. I have a truck that I pull mobile homes myself with. Like it's really, really extreme.
I was there at the beginning when he first started. I think when you had your first few, whatever. You probably have like over 100 mobile homes now, right?
Shit, pretty close, man. It's pretty wild. I made offers on 2 mobile home parks last week. I mean, I'm like this deep in this whole thing.
So yeah, what I see Jason do is like, of course, he's purchasing 1 or 2s, but then he's also purchasing entire lots. So like he'll purchase like an entire lot, and he'll get like 10 mobile homes in one sitting, and then he'll have spots for more. He'll add them on. So that's kind of the reason why he was talking about he knows about manufactured homes and mobile homes, because that's literally his business. he's a mobile home slumlord, so to speak.
Yeah. You know what?
That's a lot of rental income.
That's what they called me in the Facebook groups, a slumlord. But seriously, if you guys have any problems with mobile homes, or you need some help with one, or you have questions, contact me, because I've done a lot of stuff with them, and I've done a lot of stuff to get them approved for financing, right? Because I've done like 200 or 300 transactions like this. I've gotten financed probably.
No, hold on. I don't. Hang on. I feel like maybe my message is not getting across. Hold on.
Are you going to write it on a whiteboard?
Yeah, it is.
No.
Are you going to sign language it?
No.
So
Mobile homes.
no
Morris.
homes.
You out your damn mind. I'm happy
So
for you to be an entrepreneur. You got the wrong fucking bitch.
Jesus Christ, I don't like that.
But Jason, seriously, I'd like to buy one just to have it, rented out, just like you. I like that business model.
You know what, man? You can buy one for like, dude, I get them for free all the time. I bought so many. People just give them to me just to move them off the property, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's absolutely insane, but yeah, the returns are crazy. Like people talking about 10, 20% returns. Like once I got started in the mobile home business, I don't even understand 20% returns right now, because I have properties that are bringing me 100% returns a year plus.
Wow.
Right? And so I tell some of my friends, like I probably bought and sold 200, probably between 200 and 300 foreclosures during the foreclosure boom. So my history is, for you guys who don't really know me, I know Larry knows me, and Danica, me and you have talked about me a lot because I like to talk about me.
Right.
I
I
like to
love
talk
me
about,
some me.
yeah, I love me some Jason. But I was probably doing 450, 500 deals a year as a real estate broker and leasing agent. And I've done a lot of development property during the last downturn in the market. I probably bought $40 million worth of property. And that ranged from a marina to a wedding venue to lots that we still own to we're doing condo development, we built houses. God, you name it, I have done it in the real estate business, right? And I do not lose, right? I mean, sometimes I break even, but I did not lose at this point. And so I was broking a lot of mobile homes because nobody else wanted to do it. And it was easy deals for me. Like I was doing 4 to 6 a year. I really got super involved in it. I mean, and I was taking a lot of prednisone back then. You know, I'll be upfront with you guys. I was taking a lot of prednisone. I was doing crazy shit. I took it through this girl's shit out 3 times, and I stole her front door. But I got aggravated with the guys moving mobile homes for me, so I went and bought a mobile home truck off of eBay. But anyway, during the process of that, I ended up going through the process, getting licensed as a mobile home manufacturer contractor. And there's actually a certification called an FHA Foundation Inspector, right? So there's not a lot of people with this this FHA manufacturer license in the state of South Carolina. So this FHA Foundation Inspector is even less, or you get an engineer. But the engineer, dude, for $300, you can get a foundation certified for financing for FHA HUD approval. And you can get once you get it certified, you can get it FHA financed. And I've probably done 100 deals like that. And
so
man,
talk to us like we're mortgage nerds. Slow down. So when you buy these manufactured homes that are not FHA insurable, what are you doing to make them insurable?
So you can't make single wides insurable. So I like buying single wides for rentals, but double wides, you can make them insurable. And lots of times they want to see where they've never left the lot, but there's a lot of exceptions. If you guys start looking at underwriting, well, I don't know about underwriting unless like
VA, you can move it once.
Yeah, so move it once, but even that's a little fucked up because most counties don't keep real good records of how much it's moved. And so sometimes it can be moved 3 or 4 times, but the county only has it moved once. So there's a lot of real interesting stuff that goes on with that.
Only happens in South Carolina. I think like we take care of our shit.
Look here, I've got stuff all over the place. It happens everywhere.
The South,
Mobile home.
Well, we got our shit together here in Texas, right, Larry?
Yeah, you know what? I bet you don't, Danica. Oh.
Hey, fist bump me, Larry. Can you fist? Yeah, fist bump.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I swapped out a title right now for a 78 for a 73, so I get it approved in another county. But it was mine, and I was just renting it out, so I was just looking for a permit. So we swapped it out, then we swapped it back, which is kind of fucked up. But it got approved, right? I got the 73 free, and the 78 I paid $500 for because I just knew I could use the title, right? So I swapped it out, then swapped it back and said, "Oh, guys, I made a mistake," you know. And everybody was completely cool with that. It was kind of weird, but I was moving to the property that I owned, and I was just renting it, so I wasn't selling it. So anyway, that's probably a story I shouldn't have told you guys, but
it's just the 5 of us now. Larry keeps everybody else off.
Just the 5 of us. So,
I just want to hear some more of your wild ass stories because I feel like your real estate stories equal some of my relationship stories. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Jesus, Mom.
Can we just time out for a minute though, JMO?
Yeah,
I think I need you to find some Texas investment properties, and we need to do some business together. Larry, I
You
pitched
know
him
what?
first.
I pitched him years ago.
Years ago. Yeah,
I
Larry, me and
I went,
Larry
I'm
are
way
tight,
cuter.
Danica. Me and
I'm
Larry are
way
not
cuter. I
tight as
love
me and
Larry.
Brad.
Did
But,
you hear that this morning or yesterday where I sent him my thank you video, but I was sitting on the toilet, like makeup and hairless? Like I had no hair done, no makeup done. I'm sitting on the toilet and telling Larry how much I love him.
She said I'm the only person she would do a video on the toilet for.
Seriously, he is. The
I'm a
only
little
person.
jealous, not gonna lie.
Jason, I'll
So-
send you one tomorrow when I'm
Please.
taking my morning.
Tomorrow.
But seriously,
I will
if you follow
Thanks.
Jason, you don't need content to entertain. Jason's stories, because they're real stories, it's enough to
Dude,
like make
that's
you
so
think.
real,
You can't make
man.
them up.
It's like
Like
it's like
that whole,
it's like Tiger King, but in
So-
real life.
so that, you know what? I'll tell you guys a story. Like, I met all these guys in Tiger King, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I met all those guys like at different times. I've even talked to the guy that's in Oklahoma. Like, I've had a bunch of conversations with him. The first time I talked to him, I was a little bit high, and I told him I wanted to buy a giraffe, right? So he kept calling me about this damn giraffe and telling me stuff and trying to sell me a damn tiger. This is like around 2012, 2013. But Doc, I've known for a long time because, see, I used to own a wedding venue, and this dude named Wing Wong.
We're still recording. We're still
oh,
recording.
shit. You know what? It has stopped.
Whatever.
here
Keep it
just a little bit.
recording. Keep it recording. We'll have bloopers. It's fine.
No one will share it.
We're gonna stop this recording.
It's on
here.
Jason. Circle is
So,
pressed, so we're fine.
so I know this dude named Wing Wong, right? And he done hair and makeup at weddings.
Wait.
Did you say Wing Wong?
Yeah, his name's Wing Wong. He's an Asian guy.
Spell
He's
it.
friends with me on
Spell it.
Facebook. WINGWONG, right?
Fantastic.
Wing
It's
Wong,
like Club
right?
Hawk.
That's
So
like
Wing,
real. So
Wing Wong's my buddy. I thought he was gay until I realized he was married to like 4 women. He'd done hair. So my ex-wife used to do hair and makeup with him for weddings and stuff. So he is an Asian dude that he used to ride that damn elephant down in the intercoastal waterway. And dude, if you guys look at my Facebook page from like earlier today when I made that statement talking about people asking me if I'm related to the guy from Tiger Kingdom, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not related, but if we seen each other on the same aisle in Walmart, we'd probably say, hey, know each other's name, right? Because I really know that dude Doc. And that dude Doc is fucked up, man. He's the weirdest son of a bitch I ever met. So me and this other guy named David Galfetti, he comments on my Facebook a lot. We've probably done about 300 deals together. And so we moved a house from oceanfront 14 miles, a 2-story house. We moved it 14 miles to the waterway, right? And this guy Doc lived like 3 houses down. So somehow or another, I met Doc. I became friends with him, and he's really got some weird stuff going on. I don't know how many people he's married to, but it's a lot. And
it's a lot.
He's gay. Yeah, so he's told me before that I can come over.
He's gay and he's married to 4 ladies?
It's never less than 3. I knew that.
Dude is a pimp.
Dude is a pimp, right? So he told me, he said, hey, you can come over and hang out and pet the tigers whenever you want. I'm like, no, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm the exact opposite of petting tigers, right? I felt like that was a signal for me. And
it's a bait and switch. It's a bait and switch. You try to
yeah,
get
I
you
felt
to
like it's a
visit.
bait and
So
switch. Like, hey, Jason, pet my tiger, but pet my wiener too.
yeah. Hey, do you watch porn?
Yeah. Hey, so what kind of porn do you like? You know, what category do you go to first? So, long story short, me and Doc probably know each other, and we probably talk if we've seen each other, but we're not like hanging out on the weekends, right? So, but Wing is a super nice guy, man. He's like overly nice. So, like, honestly, like, Wing cuts my hair normally when I get a haircut, you know, but I'm coronavirus times, and I don't like to get my hair cut no way, so this is fucking normal for me. But like Wing cuts my hair, but he like touches me weird, right? So I'm not 100% comfortable, but he's my friend, so I assume it's like innocent, like haircut, right?
It's like bro code. It's like, no, dude.
It's like,
I like the way you
it's
cut
so
my
weird.
hair, so I'm gonna let you touch my butt. Like that's
Hey,
cool.
Yeah,
Hey
that's
guys, I gotta get off to feed the kids, but I'm gonna leave it on. But I'll talk to you guys later.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Just
See
make
ya.
me like a host, Larry. And so
Larry,
yeah, so
Make me an FU bots account.
yeah, Larry, make me
Did
an
y'all
FB
catch
Bots
that this
account.
morning?
And I'm gonna give it to Danica, but it's cool. So
What?
Wing is so Wing's kind of my friend, but like I'm real uncomfortable getting my hair cut from him, right? And
Mhm.
so my
Because he
wife
touches
just-
your inner thigh.
yeah, my
It's
inner
a
thigh.
haircut and a reach around, Danica. You never had one of those before. Come on.
Yeah, it's kind of
come
a
on.
little bit strange, but it's like nice at the same time. And I like the way my haircut looks afterwards. So it's all right.
No, I
So,
walk into my haircut lady and she hands me her vape pen. That's how I.
Totally different.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I like to. I go to this woman, Donica. Actually, Donna, not Donica. And so when I'm not going to Wing, I go to Donna, and Donna's weird as fuck as well. Yeah. So I know all those Lion King guys. So I told them that.
Not Lion King, it's Tiger King, motherfucker. You
Lion
keep saying
King.
Lion King.
You know what? It's the same fucking thing. I mean, they're the same fucking animal, right? So this guy Joe Exotic. It's a long story how I got there, but Exotic Animal Auction in Tennessee, like back around 2012, 2013. I met this dude. And I was a
I'm
little
getting
bit
my dinner. I'll be back. Hold on.
and I told him that I wanted to buy a giraffe. And so we exchanged numbers, and I thought like, hey, this dude's never gonna call me, right? Because who calls people like that? And so next thing I know, this dude's calling me. He's asking about real estate in South Carolina. And anyway, long story short, like I ended up meeting him like 2 or 3 times, but he never bought a piece of real estate for me. But you know what? I've done it a lot of times. Like we went a lot of vacations, like in Caribbean islands and stuff, and cruises, where I gave people my phone number and told them a lot of crazy shit. And they called me about guns and ammunition. And I have a long history of weird phone calls when I gave people my phone number when I was drunk.
That's it. I believe it.
Yeah. You know what? Like it's like, hey, dude, yeah, call me. You want to manufacture bullets at home? I can help you get those manufacturing materials. Just call me when you get home later. You know. Like 2 weeks later, they call me and I'm like, yeah, I'm not down for that. I'm not down for.
I was drunk, dude.
Yeah, dude. Do you know how drunk I was when we talked about this? I can't even remember giving you my phone number, and I think you're black, but I don't really remember. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a long history of doing some weird shit like that. So yeah, but mobile homes, man. If you guys are looking for returns on investments, that's probably the best deal out there, without a doubt.
It really is.
We're kind of snooty about them.
You know what? It's because you're stuck up, Danica.
Yeah.
Whatever you want me to call you today. I thought we were cool with that whole Donica thing I was calling you. Then you're like, hey, call me Dan. I know I was calling you Danica.
No, you were doing it the wrong way. You said Danica, and it's
I was saying Danica, and you're like, you send me a message like, hey, this is how to pronounce my name, Jason. And I'm like,
and here's
oh,
another
shit.
one, and another one.
Yeah, and then you sent me like 2 and 3, and I'm like, fuck, I got 28 more Zoom calls scheduled with this girl. Like, how am I gonna remember this shit? I can't remember what I did yesterday.
Somehow you'll get it.
Yeah, over time. Yeah, I learned.
Hey guys, I gotta jump.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
Yeah, me too. Hey, so I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.